Hello, everyone, and welcome to a big ol' episode of the Easy Allies podcast. We are 1 week away from Summer Game Fest.
Heck yeah.
Damiani's gonna be here. The patrons are gonna be here. We got a lot coming imminently. But first, let's talk about what's new, what's news, and everything that's going on in the world of gaming this week. I'm Michael Huber, your host, joined by very special guest, Elyse Willems.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Blood said this is the first time you've ever been on the Easy Allies podcast. How is that real?
Because I feel like I've done so much with y'all over the years.
Yeah.
Over the last 10 years, but never done the podcast for some reason.
Crazy. That is an oversight.
Well, I don't know. I think everything I've done with you all has been really fun.
Yeah. I mean, just for the longest time, the
Always.
podcast didn't even have guests, right? So
Yeah.
it's like,
True.
Like, I think in like 6-7 years, like the only guest was like Ben Hansen one time. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Damiani was once here in corporeal form. So,
yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
yeah.
We got Daniel Bloodworth.
Yo.
We got Michael Damiani.
Hey.
You getting excited to be in California, Damiani?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Was it Sujita Annex?
Dude, Sujita Annex. Damiani and I have a movie date. We're going to see Karate Kid Legends
okay.
together.
Nice.
Wow.
That movie is it could be terrible, and we're gonna have a blast. It doesn't even matter. It's gonna be sick.
It's so good.
Making it all happen in the control room, we got Isla Hank.
Yo.
Can't wait,
Yo.
can't wait to hear your impressions very soon, imminently. We got Don Casanova.
Oh, he's there too.
He's there.
And just back there, Gabby Montoot, giving that wave. Giving
There's a
that
peace sign, actually.
no
Jim.
little peace sign. Would that be one or
Waved
two
peace
greetings?
sign. Oh my gosh,
Spoilers.
that's one greeting.
That's just one.
That's
That's
a
just
spoiler.
one.
They don't know about that.
They don't know. They don't know.
A little taste.
All right, everybody. This week's topics. Let's go over those. What we're going to talk about today. We're going to be talking about EA's canceled Black Panther game. Mm-hmm. Just the bad news just keeps on rolling. Does not stop. We're also going to be talking about Elden Ring Nightreign.
Heck yeah.
Very excited. Isla's been playing a bunch. Blood and I have been playing a little bit. Also, Elyse and Blood have been playing to a T.
Heck yeah.
To a T. We're going to be hearing about that. I have been playing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tactical Takedown.
Hell yeah.
Very excited to talk about that. And Elyse going with the trend. I feel like everyone has been playing Doom the Dark Ages. We're going to be talking about that again, as we should, because it's Doom.
Yeah. I mean, yes.
We'll get into it. Divisive. Also, the patrons, top 10 best dressed characters. Spoiler alert, I'm immediately upset. The show hasn't even started. Vincent Valentine, not on the list. What is that about?
We didn't give you your mouse back. Do you want a mouse?
Oh, no, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do the little track here. All right, should we get into it? Let's do it. Elyse, what have you been doing? What is up? Fill us in. What's going on?
I started playing pickleball
Whoa.
in a very obsessive way
Yeah.
that I used to judge people who played pickleball. But now I'm in.
Do you already have paddles? I'm sure.
I do.
Damn it.
Well, you want to play?
My friend has a side business where he sells paddles. Yes.
So you're in this MLM and you're trying to.
They're really good paddles, though. They're super
You're
good.
transforming into hip hop gamer right now. How can I sell this right now?
And I'm producing in part of a new podcast, Answer For It, that I make with my husband James Willems, Zach Anner, who's a comedian and writer, and then you all may know him, AJ Locascio.
yes.
He's been here before, and it's like a
Yeah.
comedy trivia podcast. And I still make 30 Morbid Minutes. I do a show with PBS SoCal, Won't You Be My Gamer, where we
Right.
play games with experts,
So fun.
which is pretty cool. I don't know. I'm just
You're
feel like I'm
around.
like bumming around.
Yeah. Bouncing around.
Yeah. Fippin' and a
Boxing around.
bopping, hippin' and a hoppin'.
I love that. Tell me, I want to hear more about this PBS thing because I am an avid radio listener. And I listen to NPR, all this stuff. I like
Public media. You want to
public
support
radio.
it. Yeah.
Exactly. So when people go deep, take a deep dive into something just on the radio, it's really It just feels really human.
Yeah, well, PBS, they have podcasts and they have audio content, but a lot of what they do is like video content and shows on their platforms. And the show that I'm doing with them is on their digital side, so it's on YouTube. And we play video games with that pair with an expert in a particular field that game is related to. So we might play Overcooked with a chef.
Oh,
Oh, that's so fun.
Prison-
so fun.
Prison Architect with the reporter who covers the LA like prison beat,
Yeah.
or like the sheriff's office.
That's awesome.
Or dinosaur games with a paleontologist. It's
Amazing.
It's super
Yeah.
cool, and we try to have fun and keep it light, but then also it's one of those things where it's cheesy, but we're learning while
Yeah,
we're
but-
having fun.
I mean, you have
Yeah.
like a paleontologist. I bet they go deep into the dino lore.
oh yeah, it's
How many of them like actually know the games when they show up?
Oh, great question.
not many, because a lot of these experts, they have never seen a video game before. No, well they just don't really play games, so
Yeah.
they're kind of baffled and impressed sometimes by what like their perception of games can occasionally be Pong, but then we will get people like archaeologist Annalise that we had on. She was a big gamer.
Yeah.
So she came on and was like, "Oh yeah, can I play too? Can I play with you?" And we were like, "Sure." And we were playing like Tomb Raider 4, which it does not control great.
Yeah.
So
Brutal.
She was like,
Little
"Oh my
splashy.
God." Yeah, and yeah, it's pretty cool, and like especially to see these professionals who are so knowledgeable and skilled in their fields, and they're like screaming at a video game because they can't understand what this video game is taking creative liberties with, and they're like, "What are you talking about? Like, you'd never be able to like." The Prisoner games, for example.
Yeah.
Our reporter that was in with us was just like freaking out, seeing what was happening in some of these games. Like, she's like, "That's not what prison
This
is
is
like."
not correct. It's so funny.
Yeah.
You see like Gordon Ramsay playing Overcooked, just like, freaking out.
Well, Chef Uyen Lei, who was the chef of Bayou in Silver Lake, who came to play Overcooked with us, was basically like acting as our expo chef while we played Overcooked, and was
So
like,
fun.
"Okay, now go get that pot and take it over there," like, bossing us around and telling
So
us. It was
You
it
need
was
that person.
Cool, yeah.
Absolutely need that person.
Gotta have an
Overcooked.
expo. I loved expoing.
And-
Oh my god,
and-
expo's so fun.
PBS like relies on the support of people watching and supporting them, so it's cool for you guys to shout them out. And
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. All right. Elise, you've been playing some games. Some video
feels
games.
like never enough.
Never enough. There's
No.
too many
And
and,
I'm
not
also-
enough time.
No, and I'm also going back and playing like games like Zelda Echoes of Wisdom.
Yeah.
Which came out a year ago at least.
Yeah.
Yeah,
probably?
it was less than a year ago. It was
Oh, okay.
like
Yeah. You wanna start
September,
there?
October, or something like that last year.
Yeah.
Zelda Echoes of
Surprise.
Wisdom. Yeah, give us your thoughts.
I think it's really charming, and I really like it, and I like that it does in a weird. I don't know if this was your experience, but re-examining how you feel about the classic enemies in Zelda, like little hobgoblins and stuff, but now they're your friends. You're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, he's my bro. I'm gonna
Yeah.
send him out, and he's gonna."
Yeah, Blue Mage,
Yeah.
Beastmaster over here. Yeah.
I liked Link's Awakening a lot, so I like this kind of chibi version of the Zelda universe, and
Yeah.
I like the idea that you can creatively solve these different puzzles in Zelda by employing different stuff in your arsenal, and it just becomes a collectible thing where you're like, I need to make sure I don't miss a single thing that I can add
Yeah.
to my
Collectathon.
repertoire. And
Yeah, that was one of those things where, like, when I got through it, like, before I, like, put it down, I wanted to make sure I got every single thing that you could, conjure up.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, there was only, like, one or two things that was like, okay, I got to dig around and figure out where this is.
yeah, it's a. I don't know if it lived up to Damiani's expectations for Zelda. Did
Love Damiani's Zelda expectations.
No, I was upset that they locked outfits behind amiibos.
Oh.
Again.
Did they? Oh,
Yeah, they had some costumes that you could only get if you had
the amiibo tax.
Ganon and there's 3 of them, I believe. Yeah,
Damn
I was
it.
like, that. I hate when they do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bummer. I liked conceptually what this game did. I think the bar Nintendo still needs to solve the problem of the horizontal bar that just goes on forever when you're selecting all of your cool little familiars to summon. It just gets a little out of hand, and it's something that's been a little bit of a problem in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom as well. So I think they need to spend some time on refining their user interface a little bit. I liked a lot about it. It was interesting to hear people who didn't like it. It was a lot of complaints about how you used your creatures to fight in combat, and didn't think the game's combat really lent itself well to that. That they felt it was a little frustrating. Where I feel like I didn't have as much trouble dealing with that because I kind of knew, this enemy is gonna be great to use against this boss here. I'm just gonna have giant moblins, or I'm gonna have a giant or a bunch of whiz robes just flying around and just zerging the boss. I'm I don't have to do anything, I just stand back and watch it just die.
Yep.
But some people wanted more traditional combat, or at least Zelda have more direct combat, either with magic or something that they could do. And now obviously you can take the hero spirit of Link and use, and you can improve that meter and everything. But I'm always more into the exploration aspect of these games. Combat isn't high on the list, even for traditional Zelda games. It feels okay and enjoyable, but it never feels too complicated. And the more they've tried to complicate Zelda combat, the worse I think it's off. The Minish Cap, when they added all those scrolls you can learn, they were cool gimmicks, but they didn't feel practical. And Twilight Princess as well, I didn't really like a lot of those things you learned as well. They didn't feel very useful.
Skyward Sword, best combat. Yeah, I don't care what anyone says. I don't care. Girahim 1v1.
So here's the thing, Hubert. I don't think 3D Zelda combat has ever been really great. Or I think it's been okay. I think 2D is good, is when it's been the best, and I do enjoy a lot of what they did in Link's Awakening. And I did feel a little bit bummed that I didn't have a caster build that I could just use with Zelda. Am I gonna unlock this cool ability where she has magic arrows, or maybe her staff just sends out projectiles? But otherwise, dungeon wise, I was happy that we got more proper style dungeons with theming. I forget all the names right now, but this realm you're in when you're like leading up to the dungeon.
It's the dark
that we're showing the footage.
Let's call it that.
Well, they just
Still
had it.
world. Yeah.
It was like okay. I didn't particularly enjoy those segments where you had to find like the pieces of your,
No.
your thing to
Feels like a
power
little bit
up.
of filler.
Ooh,
Yeah.
filler, the dreaded F word.
But I like
Hate to
exploring
say
the
it.
world. I had a lot of fun exploring the world, and I wish they would go harder on that. I just think they need to refine.
Make some smoothies.
There's just too many things to use in the game, I feel like.
Yeah.
And they need to find a way to like, maybe not necessarily simplify it, but like make it more, the average person be able to process how to use these more, I don't know, like not effectively, but just like understand a little bit better what Nintendo's desired intent was for some of these. Because otherwise people are just going to keep stacking beds. Bed. I'm just going to keep stacking beds. Yep.
Do nonstop. And yeah, there's some items and creatures I don't touch. And then I've also been playing Doom Dark Ages.
Doom the
Started.
Dark Ages.
And you might be thinking, Elyse, you're playing Doom?
Yeah.
I really liked 2016 Doom.
Hell
and
yeah.
I really liked Doom Eternal.
Yeah.
And I unabashedly changed the ability settings to whatever I feel most comfortable with to
Yeah.
play.
Yeah.
And I know that a lot of you are of the mindset of like, not how the developer
Oh
intended.
no! And if there's
I get-
difficulties, then that's their intent.
But
Absolutely.
I wholly appreciate that I can tailor this game in a way where I don't feel like I'm replaying the same section 10 times and
Yeah.
actually feel like I can feel powerful and like a boss going through it and really enjoy it.
There's a really good pace to it. Like, I like the slow moments when you're just exploring, running around, finding collectibles, hunting down bigger monsters or whatever, like in the some of those open-ended levels, but then you get some like pretty fast-paced breakneck levels as well, which I really appreciate.
And I will say I haven't felt that kind of like adrenaline surge yet of the fusion of the music and the action while
Yeah.
like playing this one. And I
Right.
know that this game maybe hasn't been as received to the degree that the previous two were. I think it's kind of more of what we like about Doom, except now it's just really, really melee heavy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of parrying. There's a lot of melee in it, which I felt like Doom Eternal was more, we're platforming
bouncing
now,
around.
guys.
Yeah.
Which I did kind of enjoy.
Yeah. Total preference thing for sure.
Yeah, especially because I'll play it with the controller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it is just it's a good game. It's like a great 8.
I love that.
know?
Yeah. I love that. What was your favorite Doom?
I've only played these new ones.
The newer ones. Nice.
Oh,
But
okay.
I mean,
Sick.
I definitely think like I kind of had that moment with the first one where I just couldn't believe that I was enjoying it
It's
as much
so
as I
good,
was.
Yeah.
But I did like Eternal probably the
Yeah.
most.
Eternal's so sick.
Yeah.
Just like the crunchiness of when you kill enemies in Doom, just the goop and the bone and just the sounds and everything is just so visceral.
So visceral and like
so intense.
in this one, the fusion of medieval combined with like space it's cool.
Yeah, I agree. I know. I remember Don. Don was a little bummed because he wanted more medieval stuff. He was like, "Get crazy
sure,
with
yeah,
the
yeah.
medieval." But I still think they do a good job of it. Because like the other Dooms too, there's just a lot of weird, like sciencey stuff, and of course that one's in this one too. But I still think this one is a little more on the gothic,
A little grounded in
Yeah.
that.
medieval
Yeah.
side, which I really appreciate.
Well, I love that they're still messing around with like just bizarro weapons and stuff
Yeah.
too, right? Like this thing, like I'm not entirely sure how much I'd like to use it, but the
it's so
skull
sick.
crusher thing, you know, where
good.
you're just like getting this like wide spread at a group of
Yeah.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah, what's your favorite weapon, Elyse?
Oh, I like the shield a lot.
Hell yeah, it's so fun.
Very satisfying.
Regardless of the reception of this game and how it stacks up to every other game that's come out this year, the shield is an absolute highlight in all of gaming for the year of 2025.
Give it up for shield.
Yeah,
The
it is.
Doom shield.
It is awesome. Throwing the thing, charging with it,
Well, I love when
using it for puzzles too,
when the shield like gets stuck in a guy and
Yeah.
it's just spinning there.
grinding them
Yeah,
in
yeah.
place. It's so fun.
Can I shout out a game I played this year that I
Yeah.
did not mention in my pre-screening interview,
Absolutely.
i.e. the email Blood sent me. There's this game that I played several months ago now called The Roottrees Are Dead,
The Roottrees are
which
dead.
is essentially one of those kind of
Never even heard of it.
Oh God, Huber, my brother. Okay, so this is a re-release of the game because the developer got an artist to make all original art for it, and it's basically like one of those deduction mystery games where you're just going through. And this is an Elyse game. You're going through archive.
I've been meaning to play this one.
Yeah,
this is Isla Bait
it's
for
set
sure.
in the 90s too, so you're using the 90s internet to go through
Right.
archival evidence and
Oh.
newspaper articles, magazine articles, look at old photos to try to get context clues to assemble this family tree and find out what
Yo.
happened to all of them and like what the big controversy.
That's a great
and
premise.
it's one of those things where you get sucked in.
You get
You're
like
I lo-
blueprints. You just get
Yes.
sucked in.
I lost like 2 days of my life
Yeah.
just like hunched over my desk, you
Yeah.
know, swatting anyone away that tried to talk to me.
Well, just getting on the PC like that, like it definitely like brings back her story memories.
Oh, exactly,
Yeah.
Blood. Like it, like I was like a Unabomber with a notepad playing her story, and that's basically what I did with this.
Or what was that one you played, Isla, with like you hack in to like.
Oh yeah,
this-
Vice undercover. Vice
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Awesome.
It's also like Oberdin kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, Oberdin, yeah, man. Yeah, it's all definitely in that genre of game.
Is it easy to get stuck in that one?
This
Like,
one?
what happens if you get stuck?
Oh.
Do they give you kind of ways to get out of it?
like hint systems and
there
stuff.
are kind of clues that you can tap into, but sometimes you just have to kind of stare at it for
Get
an
it,
hour
yeah.
and then get up and walk away and then come back to it. And yeah,
That sounds awesome.
but it is all out there now. Where I guess if you got stuck, you could.
Just look it up.
Yeah.
Of course. Nice. And you beat it? How long is it?
Oh man, maybe like 10 hours.
10,
I
okay.
don't know. I'm trying to think of like
How long to beat says 7.5.
over.
Beautiful.
Okay, definitely overshot.
Add a
that.
few for me while I
They're
ponder the puzzles.
Speedrunners over there. Don't worry
Yeah.
about those guys.
Yeah.
Seriously.
They're always
The old
fast.
big brains.
Awesome. What a cool list of games, Elyse. You're playing some Jolly Zelda, some brutal Doom, and a little.
Cerebral. Well, I finished it.
Yeah, a
I don't know, but-
little puzzle type. Yeah, it's awesome. All right. Moving on to some bad news. EA is at it again. They canceled.
We didn't even have a month without bad EA news.
Yeah.
We just had bad EA news.
Did any of
Always.
you see this coming? Could
No.
any of you predicted this Black Panther?
Let him actually say what it is.
Yeah.
First. Yeah.
So EA canceled Black Panther. IGN's Rebecca Valentine reported this week that EA's Black Panther game has been canceled and Cliffhanger Studio is being shut down. The news came from an email sent out by EA Entertainment President Laura Miele.
I think it's Miel, but I could be wrong.
But unfortunately, many staff found out from the IGN report. As this always happens.
Yeah.
Stop this. Additionally, EA is laying off other staff among its mobile and central teams. Some will be able to find positions within the company, but considering the publisher's recent push to end remote work policies, many likely will not be able to relocate. And we got some quotes we'll get into, but I just want to go to the panel. What are our thoughts on this? Any initial takes?
First and foremost, for those additional layoffs, if there are people who would be willing to relocate, I would hope that EA would give them a grace period and say, okay, you've got a month or you've got 2 months or whatever.
Yeah, no, I think that they do have that if they can find the positions, but yeah, that's something that specifically with Cliffhanger, like, one of the reasons is, kind of hitting me a little harder than a lot of the others. Even it's just I've just met several of these people, since GDC, and so like. Yeah,
so
I know.
You talked to them and know how probably enthusiastic they were about the work they were doing.
Yeah, exactly. Like they are really like in love with this project, and so just to see it just pulled out from under them.
Yeah, it's one thing to like read about it, whatever. Like it's shitty news that hurts, that bums me out. Then when you obviously, when you know the people directly, like it makes it even more human.
Is like a fan of this podcast, and he's approached me and met me at GDC. Right?
And it's like I just ask everyone, including the corpos, to get in that mindset of like these are human beings' lives. Right. We talk about this almost every freaking week on the show.
But with that return to office mandate, I was already thinking about them because it's like, okay, but Cliffhanger Studio is in Seattle, but these guys are down here, and so like, how are they going to be able to navigate? Like, this is how they're going to be able to navigate. They just got rid of the studio. It's like, okay, because who knows, how many people they had spread around.
Yeah, Elyse, we've talked about just layoffs in the industry a lot over the last year or so with all of the layoffs. What's your take on it? Do you think we're gonna like come out of this? Do you think it's like the night is darkest just before the dawn, or do you think like the industry has changed forever now? Like, are we gonna get out of this?
I think it's probably more indicative of like larger systemic issues, right? Of the economy at large. It's just like the kind of like it's the form, but also sort of the realistic response.
Yeah.
I forget where it was published, but I was reading an article this past week or the previous one about it was a little bit critical maybe of not critical is the wrong word, but just talking about kind of like the unsustainability of the big AAA studio versus now I don't know if any of you saw this, but like the
always definitely a conversation.
The independent developer or the small team. And so probably in these contractions, maybe from the ashes of this, we'll see like more of those little teams rise up and be making smaller games. But yeah, it just does kind of beg the question of, are we going to see a decline in the number of some of these bigger budget titles, right?
Yeah, that's what I wonder.
Is it going to change some of gaming tastes and games that are actually coming out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well,
because with like the AAA games too, and the inflated budgets, there is a tendency to play it a little safer.
Yeah.
To fall back on, what your base likes from that game when you're throwing, $300-400 million at it.
Yeah, let me throw into some of these quotes because I think the EA side of the story is very different than other sides of the general conversation. Miel said that these changes, alongside other recent cancellations and layoffs, are being done to sharpen our focus.
How many different ways can they say we fired everyone?
And put our creative energy behind the most significant growth opportunities. So she's saying a handful of franchises going forward, which include Battlefield, which about 100 studios are working on.
I feel like this entire EA is all in on that.
Yeah.
We've seen some alpha footage leak. It actually looks, I don't know if it's a leak or not.
No, they've been
showing
it off here and there a little bit.
I will say, it looks good.
Yeah. The Sims, Skate, Apex Legends, and she reassures EA will continue to invest in its Iron Man game at Motive and the third Star Wars Jedi game, et cetera, et cetera. And they confirmed after this that the EA 3-game deal with Marvel is still on the books. It's not hurt by this. It's just basically Motive, who's making Iron Man, will continue to fulfill that contract essentially.
Yeah. Why this game?
Why this? I think this goes back to EA being EA and EA Dead Space and single player games. They're the ones that were have said single player games are a thing of the past or whatever.
Always, yeah.
And from what we know of this game,
single player,
this is a single player action adventure, very comparable to a Spider-Man or a God of War or something like that. Like I said, the guy I met, he used to work on the last 2 God of War games, the combat designer. That's pretty good.
Would have been sick.
Pretty good.
Black Panther's move set is awesome.
The other thing is the studio Cliffhanger was started by Monolith devs, right? So former Monolith guys who had just gone through this.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers basically did the same thing. They let them cook on their game for a while, and then they showed up and are like, no.
Actually,
yeah.
And so then they left and they formed Cliffhanger, and now EA did the same thing to them.
Yeah.
So now you've got guys that have basically gone for almost a decade without being able to release a game.
Warner Brothers and
just at the whims of executives.
Yeah. WB and EA, top 2 worst.
Right.
Straight up, top 2 worst.
And then for one last quote here that I've got on this, and then we could just completely go off to whatever direction we want. Matthew Allen, director of gameplay engineering, who had been at Monolith for 10 years, said on Blue Sky, "Someday, post NDA, I will talk a lot about what we were trying to do, not only with the IP, but also about the innovation we are trying to push through and the production practices we think we're required to execute on these things."
Damn.
Yeah, because you mentioned that in 2030 or 2023 they were acquired, right?
Well, they were spun up, but I think
that's when their origins were.
Yeah.
So I'd be curious, to see actually how far along they were. You mentioned maybe pre-alpha.
Yeah, I think they were, probably they probably had a good skeleton of where the story was going to go. Alexa Ray Correa, she was working with them until recently. Yeah. And then, they probably had combat systems starting to get figured out, and
It's just impossible from the outside not to look at it like a leadership failure.
Yeah.
Every time. If you got to the point where all of these people were working on the game and the systems were going and all of that production happened and then you say no, why even do it to begin with? That's a failure.
Yeah. That's
and then who pays the price?
Like a vision failure, right?
Yeah.
2 years ago you thought this was a good idea, now you don't, but it takes longer than that to make a game.
Yeah.
And and what's I find interesting here is how this quote is talking about the production practices, because this is something that I've been seeing from a lot of newer studios is hey, let's rethink about how we do this, about how much money we're spending, about and all of that.
Yeah.
So even though this was under EA, it sounds like they went into it with that kind of mindset of okay, let's do this better. And even with that, EA was nah, we don't want a single player game.
Do we have any idea how Marvel fits into this? Any idea? If they're okay with this, if they encouraged this.
Again, as long as EA eventually fulfills the contract.
Yeah.
If they have Motive doing that stuff, then I guess that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and if Marvel's looking forward to their entire game plan, and they're thinking, well, maybe this version of Black Panther in this universe doesn't fit into what our emerging story is going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. My one hope with all of this is, of course, that this was not a DEI recall decision of, oh, because this game features characters of color, like this is the one that we're going to target and remove. I hope that was not part of the deciding factor, of course.
Yeah.
You know?
For me, I think maybe the other Black Panther game could have had an impact on it too. The fact that we're already getting Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra that has Captain America and Black Panther. So were they like, they're already doing it. We don't want to follow in their footsteps.
It does sound like
too?
they're very different games, though. Whereas, like, I think Hydra is going to be like a more level by level type of game, and this is described as being like, you know, more open world direction.
Yeah.
Did you guys like the Guardian of the Galaxy?
Loved it.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Shout out.
But I do think that's like one of those weird
Anomaly things.
Well, it's one of those things where it's like probably EA looking at what happened with Square Enix, and it's like, okay, well, they did, you know, Guardian of the Galaxy and Avengers, and neither one of those paid off. And so, like, you know, maybe have that, like, hesitation of, like, well, Marvel is not necessarily a sure bet.
Yeah.
So why are we going to have two studios working on Marvel games?
Yeah.
But
any takes, Damiani, before we move on?
I mean, you guys kind of said it all, and we've kind of like talked about this in the past
so many times.
I don't know how much more I could say on this. Like, this is it gets worse and worse.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. This ride's never ending, Huber.
I know.
It feels like that was your first question. It doesn't feel like it's ending anytime soon. Like it would probably get worse before it ever gets better. If it ever gets better.
Can I ask you guys, maybe not the most uplifting question, but maybe something to pull us at the doldrums of these cancellation blues. But is there something that would have been in a Black Panther game like this that would have gotten you hyped?
Mobility, all day mobility.
yeah, I think
The
his
way
toolset
you
would have been very cool.
Yeah.
You know, that like kind of like a Ninja Gaiden style
Little
movement.
Ninja
with a bunch
Gaiden,
of
Mirror's
tech gadgets
Edge.
in there.
Yeah.
Using the kinetic energy of this suit. So like balancing taking damage to like unleash more powerful attacks. So like having like that kind of mechanic would have been like wild. Also like aiding in traversal. So like good a character action game with like god tier traversal.
Yes,
like
dude.
that's like
leaping everywhere, like in that scene in Civil War, dude, when he like jumps from the cars to the cars.
like
Like a panther.
Cool.
Do you think there's a chance that we will still see some of that in Marvel's at 1943 that you said?
I hope. I don't know. They look everything about that game that we've seen the trailer. It looks really heavy, and that brings me back to Marvel's Avengers. They had the Wakanda expansion, and the locomotion of every character in that game felt way too similar. Like Hulk versus Black Widow, like Hulk big lumbering, even Black Widow was like a little faster. Or
well, like I remember as soon as I saw like Kamala like swing, it's like, oh, that's what Spider-Man's gonna look like.
That's or Widow does the way. Yeah, everybody feels
there's a little,
so similar.
It's really good, but it definitely like it didn't have, because there's so many characters. It didn't have as much distinction there.
Yeah.
Whereas like here they really had the opportunity to hone in on what should Black Panther feel like, right? You know, and at least with Amy Hennig's game, like you have fewer characters.
Totally,
it will be a little bit more focused.
Yeah,
so.
Captain America, Black Panther, and then both of they each have like a side character as well. So we'll see. Shout out to everyone who got laid off. We love you. We see you. We hear you. We respect you. And
I've heard different things. I heard from I saw a post from somebody at Respawn because they just had Star Wars game get canceled there too, and they're like saying that like just within like EA Studios, it's like low morale is the lowest it's ever been. But then other people, that I've talked to is like, that did just lose their jobs. So like, it's like they're hopeful. Like they
blessing in disguise.
They have things that they think
silver lining.
Be able to pull it out. So
for sure, let's hope.
Gonna have some coffees.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Yeah. Which brings us to just a small little game. Elden Ring Nightreign.
Just a little spin-off.
Okay, so I'm not an Elden Ring person. I'm not a Dark Souls. I'm not a Souls person. But Elden Ring. This is going to be the most like basic.
No
question
way.
ever.
Let's start there.
This
Let's
is
go.
not a DLC.
Correct.
Am I
Brand
correct?
new
It's
game.
a separate game to buy.
Separate game.
Cheaper price.
What's the MSRP on this one?
39.
$40.
Isla, without hesitation.
Yeah, $40, 3 players, round based basically, like 30-ish minute matches. You're together. Isla.
So it's PvE? What is
PvE.
it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
PvE,
So you're friends.
3-player team.
Yeah.
This is my fire team, but in Elden
Yeah.
Ring.
Yeah.
You got a 3-player team. You're going through. It's a 3-night.
We're doing
cycle.
strikes?
You're doing
Basically.
strikes.
Basically.
You have day 1 to farm and try to level up, get better gear. Then you fight a boss. Then if you beat that, it's day 2. You farm and try to find better gear, looking around, exploring, leveling up, fight the boss again. And then if you beat that, you go to day 3, which is the Night Lord.
Final boss of
and
that.
it's just a boss fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a handful of those. There's quite a few of those
Yeah, if you
final
s-
bosses.
like
You saw there's like
yeah.
a
Yeah.
battle royale style ring that closes in on you too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the storm, the night
Oh,
closes
okay.
in on you in a ring. So it contracts you into the final boss arena.
Yeah, which it gets really nuts like where if you're like trying to get to some underground chest or something and
Yeah.
that ring starts coming, it's like, oh crap, how do I
Yep,
get out
yep.
of here?
I'm
need
gonna
to
let-
move.
I'm going to let you go off, but I will say my favorite thing about the design of this is the pushing and pulling of like, well, you need to explore to get stronger, and you need to kill things to get stronger to kill the boss. But also, this wall of fire is coming.
Yes.
So like, you don't have a lot of time. So there's this
It's
like,
effectively a press your luck game.
yeah, it's like, do I want to go and try to kill that boss or find that thing, or do I go somewhere safer? Yeah, it's awesome.
That's kind of fantastic. It's almost like the map closing in like a, like a Fortnite. You know
Totally.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Totally.
Oh, I mean, it's literally that.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's-
this is Fortnite for
like
people who like FromSoft
It's like
games.
Destiny Fortnite.
Like me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's FromSoft Fortnite.
Yeah.
And it's like, because Fortnite doesn't interest me for 1 second of any day. But this, I'm in love with it. I like, and I hate playing multiplayer games. But this game, in my experience so far, in the reviewer, we've had this game for, I don't know, 2 weeks or something, 3 weeks. And, we've been playing mostly with reviewers, and oh my God. And generally, it's been a very positive experience. The day that I was capturing this very B-roll, I had 4 real weird matches where the teammates just kind of weren't listening to each other, and we were sort of going all over.
You really need a team for sure.
This fight though, I clutched it out, and it felt so cool. Like you have
Hell
these
yeah.
moments in this game where you'll just feel like a real hero, and it's neat. And I it was interesting just over the 2 weeks or whatever of playing this, the kind of like unspoken vernacular for this particular FromSoft game, because like everyone who's playing this is like pretty generally a FromSoft, a From head. But this game's specific unspoken vernacular started to emerge just in that period of time. Like at first, the first few days, nobody knew what to do. No one was like, there weren't any strategies or whatever. And now it's just like, do the first camp by
Autopilot.
where you land, do the churches, get the churches for the
Yeah.
flasks, go to this, go to the castle, go to the basement of the castle, fight the thing, go over here. And like the maps change every time, but like there's kind of a hierarchy, a mental hierarchy of like, okay, what makes the most sense to do next?
Yeah.
What is our team good enough to do?
The
Because you're judging not only your team's skill, but also like how on pace you are. So like, I was talking about this with Mitch over at IGN. We played a few rounds together, and like,
Name drop.
no, well, he was great. He's great at this. He's better at this than I am. But like, I was saying we were trying to figure out like what a good pace was for a day, and we
Right.
were like level 7 or 8 at the end of day 1 is good, and if you're at like 11 to 13 for the final boss, you're like really good, but like it's doable at 10. Like that's kind of the pace you want to be at. So like any run where I was like level 3 at the end of day 1, I'm like, we're fucked. Like this is
Right.
You still
Yeah,
try, but like.
Well,
Yeah.
and then there's just, it does so many crazy things because it's like, okay, on the base it just looks like Elden Ring, but there's so many weird little tweaks and things just throughout that it changes, and just
for sure. It's like arcade Elden Ring.
Yes.
Right.
So let me ask you this question then. Aside from like the wall of fire closing in, what is really differentiating this game between just getting like a mod to add multiplayer to Elden Ring?
For one, you have
all these classes,
8 distinct characters,
and they all have their own quest lines.
So like Destiny
which
has
we will
like
not talk about.
Different classes, obviously, and
So
Destiny has like 3 or whatever.
Yeah. So like each one like has like a weapon type that they favor and like special abilities that like
ultimate.
did not exist like in
the base
main
or
Elden Ring at all. And like crazy stuff like Isla's Duchess. See that like the stopwatch thing? When you trigger that, it like replays some of the damage that your team did.
It replays the last 2 seconds of the damage.
to like re-exert that damage again.
Yes.
That's
and like the nice thing with the Duchess is that you can use that ability pretty frequently. So like you shouldn't be afraid to just pop it every time you like. And like it's Duchess is my favorite character by far because this game is also interesting because it's kind of like FromSoft Greatest Hits. Like there are literally bosses from like Dark Souls 2.
Right.
Here.
That's pretty fun.
And Duchess is like, hey, did you like Bloodborne? Play Duchess. The Executor is like, hey, did you like Sekiro? Play this guy. And like Wilder is like Dark Souls, like, and they're not all that cut and dry. The Revenant, who I have B-roll of in a little bit, she's kind of more of a summoner, so she can summon one of 3 different ghost characters to fight alongside you.
It's so fun. That's my
and
favorite.
then she's the one who was recently featured in the Wake Me Up Inside Evanescence
yes,
trailer.
of course. We all are familiar.
Absurd trailer that they did.
But she also does this weird thing where like I don't understand exactly like what triggers it, but like when you kill enemies, like they'll be
Random
summoned as
ghosts will come back. Yeah.
The question everyone wants to know: Ornstein and Smaug, are they in it?
Yeah, not that I've seen so far.
I have not seen yet, but that would be a good
that's a
addition.
knock against
DLC or something.
Yeah. I did fight the Nameless King though one time. Of
course.
which is pretty crazy.
So
some of the other. Yeah, but the Executioner one is crazy because it like turns into like a giant werewolf for its ultimate. But like you can really be strategic like when you pop that because when you do that, it fully heals you and like doubles your life bar. And so then even when you go back to normal, like you're basically back to full health. So you can like use it as a heal.
That's pretty cool.
And also because it's got such a wide range of attack, you heal, you revive your allies by attacking them. And so like if you got allies down and you can pop your giant werewolf, then you can like bring everyone back pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. This is the church where you get more flask charges, which is always very important.
I feel like
this character is good at healing.
If you've never played, I think I'm kind of torn. If you've never played a Elden Ring or a From game, because the pace of this is fucking out of control, even though it's co-op. Whereas the other one, you can just take so slow, just summon a buddy and like take it slow. So
and I'm seeing so much melee combat in this.
Crazy.
It seems like that's principally what the
there
combat
is a really cool caster.
There's a caster character that has a pretty complicated moveset, and then there's a bow and arrow character.
Yeah.
But any character, any character can use any weapon. Some characters are better at certain other weapons. Like the Duchess you can unlock through the story like benefits for using daggers. Like it'll auto give reprisal, which is the time thing.
I played like a ton of Destiny 2. Like I loved Destiny 2 and had to stop it because it was like becoming a problem for me.
Yeah.
But like one of my favorite things was like doing a big, like
group up,
like raid with everybody.
Yeah.
And so much of that wasn't just like we're defeating enemies or a boss, but like there's environmental choices we have to make, things we have to do in sequence. We've got to like puzzle elements. Is there stuff like that in this game?
Yeah, so there's like basically
not like Destiny levels though. I know what you're talking about.
I mean,
that shit's shoot this target while this. None of that shit.
Basically
not at all.
It's not like that overt, but in a sense, that's what this entire game is. In a sort of in a different way.
Not like there's some crazy stuff that happens back at your hub that like comes out kind of gradually, but basically like each one of these characters has like a kind of a bit of a quest line that happens, and so. And for everyone, like, the objectives are different. So
That's
some
cool.
of them, like, you'll basically just do, like, some single-player stuff. Like, you'll do, like, some one-on-one matches in an arena. But others, like, you'll have to go out with a group of people and go find some item out on the map, you know, alongside of, like, what the group's goal is.
Which I guess kind of in Destiny you're doing too.
Yeah, if you're on like a patrol or whatever, it's like, oh, I gotta go over here and get that
that's
thing.
my daily
That's vibe. That's
thing.
the vibe.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh yeah, this does look very cool.
Yeah.
Isla, are you gonna play with my husband?
If he plays it, I mean, if he plays on PlayStation, this game criminally does not have crossplay
Really?
currently, which I think
Oh.
is fucking insane.
Yeah, that's
that
wild.
does seem very limiting.
That is
That is-
wild.
Like
I think deeply stupid.
Yeah.
That's like my biggest gripe with this game. Like, I know Mitch didn't like that it's not really balanced for solo, and I've heard a few other people have that complaint, and like I hear that, and I definitely agree. Solo is basically
Solo is just
impossible.
there to investigate and like get comfortable
Yeah.
with characters without dragging people down.
Yeah.
That's the
basically
only reason to do
impossible.
it. You're not going to get through it.
You can do some of the
Yeah.
remembrances solo, just like run in, get the thing you need and die.
Which to me
but,
is a
like,
super unfair criticism of a multiplayer
definitely,
game.
It's definitely meant to be played with other people.
Yeah,
The
it's a
matchmaking and
multiplayer
queuing works
game.
really well. You can select which boss, like which Night Lord you want to target, and you can even say like random undefeated. So like what are my stats right now? I think I've played like 24 matches and I've beaten the expedition 3 times. This game's tough, and like most of those days, probably like 18 of those, I've gotten the final Night Lord like to 20% health, and then we wipe, which is devastating, but that's just how it is. But like, if I was playing this on Discord, because I only played like 4 matches with actual, like with Huber and Mitch or whatever, where we could actually talk to each other, like that increases
Slay.
our success, your success rate. And
Huge.
I think like the ideal scenario for this game is playing with 2 of your friends and being on Discord and talking about
Absolutely.
it.
Absolutely.
And like if you're a beginner and like new, like, you know, it's intense and weird, and the learning curve on this game specifically is incredibly weird. Like I wouldn't say it's hard to wrap your head around the initial concept, but once you've done it once or twice, you're like, I get it. Like there's a lot of nuance that you'll keep picking up, and like I'm sure the meta will change over time. But like, you know, I think that if you have a Sherpa to take you through, you know, like if you have a friend who's obsessed with FromSoft and you've always been curious, I think this would be a great way to jump in, just because you get to stay in multiplayer together and don't get kicked out after every boss.
And you get to have that guide and that support, right?
Yeah.
So do you all feel like returning to this game daily to play it, it's giving you enough like benchmarks and dopamine hits, and it's giving you that feeling of validation every time you play, that it would keep you coming back? Or do you feel like you'll hit a certain number of hours where you're like, I've done enough and I've done...
I mean, I think if I've done all the bosses, I probably would.
I would do all the
personally,
remembrances. I would do every character's quest line, and if I did that, I would probably put it down for good. But that would take a while.
Yeah.
That would take a long time.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting game, but because it's a combination of, you know, because the obvious comparisons are like Fortnite, whatever, these multiplayer games. But yeah, it does have a progression. There are the Night Lords that you can face. I don't know what happens when you beat all of those, but I imagine there's probably something after that.
Maybe.
And all the
From Software loves their
and then all
endings.
the characters have remembrances, like storylines that you do, and like, so it's a multiplayer game that has a story that you handle the story kind of on your own, which I think is a good way to do it. You're not listening to someone talking to you over your headset while you're running around trying to fight other multiplayer characters, you know?
Yeah.
How does the weapon progression work? Like, are you leveling up existing weapons a lot, or are you picking up a lot of...
You have a base weapon for each character when you go out, and then you find...
Which I think somehow can change, because I saw somebody else go in as a Duchess, and they looked like like a Black Blade assassin and had a poison knife right off the bat.
Oh, interesting.
And I have a relic right, or a rune right or whatever, that starts my starting weapon with magic on it. So like you can,
I've seen one of those. Yep.
You can kind of like tweak your... Oh, we didn't mention that. So when you win, there is meta progression. So to answer your initial question, there's no meta progression between rounds with weapons and characters and stuff like that, aside from remembrances will give you some stuff that's permanent, and then you get relic runes that let you do relic rites or whatever, and those are things like your flask also heals everybody else. Mm-hmm. Your weapon starts with magic on it. +3 dexterity, and some of them are really cool. Some of them you get specifically from remembrances, like the Duchess one I mentioned that gives you auto reprisal on dagger combos. So that's the meta progression, and like those are like scaled. Tiny ones are like not very good and have 1 ability, and then big ones have 3 abilities and are crazy. Yeah.
But yeah, so as you see, like generally, like it's like, Metal Gear Solid, like procure on site, find your weapons.
Okay.
So you go to certain places where a chest might drop something more rare. You fight something, and it'll drop something that's more rare. But it is sort of like a luck of the draw. Like sometimes you'll get new weapons, and sometimes your base weapon is just the best thing that you can have.
So you're not carrying that arsenal
right
with you. Okay.
But you can also get
level 1 with
smithing
Gotcha.
stones. And you can find little blacksmith stations to
cool.
Increase the level of the weapon that you have. So that actually can sometimes be better than finding a new weapon.
And there's sometimes world events, like the one that was happening while we were doing the review was called the Crater. And
huge
very
volcano.
Incredibly convoluted way to get down there. Mitch Sherped me on this one because he had done it before. But like, you drop down into this lava-filled crater, and if you get to the bottom and beat a boss, like a mini-boss, like a side boss, you can level any weapon in your arsenal all the way to legendary, or purple, maybe. And so that's pretty wild. And, like, have a good weapon and try that. But then, like, that crater thing is only active for, like, a week, and then it goes away for a while, and then other ones might come back later. That's the one I've seen. I know there are others, but I haven't experienced them yet. I love this game. I think it's really cool. Yeah.
Well, my question to you on that note then, as being big FromSoft fans, is there anything in this game that you think, not that it's lacking, but that if it added or it doesn't have would make it like the craziest game ever for you?
I think that it has a high potential for, like, after you've defeated 2 expeditions, it unlocks cosmetics. You can change your character's outfits. And some of them are like nods to stuff. And I've seen other outfits. I saw that one outfit that I was like, that's not one of Duchess's regular outfits. How'd you get that? Like, is that the deluxe edition? Like, what is that? So I'm assuming there are other ways to get some. So, like, the game can just keep adding stuff like that. They can keep adding. I assume they're going to keep adding bosses. Like, this game I could definitely see being something where it's like we were saying, like, once we've done the remembrances and beaten all the bosses right now, put it down for a couple of months. But then, like, I could see them every few months just adding another boss. Like, you jump back in. Like, I think this game could go on for a long time.
Yeah.
Conceivably. And I think that would be really cool. And, like, there's the potential for them to have, like, add other literal weapons from the other games and stuff. Some of them are already in there, but, like, if they get the rights from Sony or whatever, I'd love to see the Blade of Mercy in there. But that kind of stuff.
Put Lady Butterfly in.
Oh my God.
Damiani, we played Dark Souls together.
I mean, I just replayed Dark Souls 1.
Yep.
I played Prepare to Die Edition.
Hell yeah.
Then went to Remastered because I wanted to see, like, what does it look like?
Yeah.
Better
Love
on PC.
that remaster, dude. Dark Souls 1 Remastered is fucking sick.
And then I played a good amount of 2 to see why everyone hates it. Now I kind of
love 2, dude. Love those
2
torches.
2 is fucking sick.
2 fucking rips.
I will not stand for this.
Same. I won't stand for it either.
I'm not a big... I like 1 more than 2.
Same, but 2 rips.
Well, yeah, 1 is better than 2, but 2 is sick.
Yeah.
Oh, I think the controls are terrible in 2.
What?
Like it's locked. Like, I don't like how your character moves way worse than 1. 1 has smoother movement. I don't understand how that's even possible.
Well,
but
Miyazaki didn't direct it.
That's where the OG, even the OG version.
It's how it was meant to be played.
You can move like full 360 movement in the original. We're
not here to litigate the past, Johnny. We're talking
Anyway,
about
are you gonna
Nightreign.
play this?
No, because I don't like the I loathe the multiplayer aspect of Souls games. I love being isolated in them. The only time I want multiplayer is
Play
if
solo,
there's a
coward.
boss I am banging my head against. It's like fine, but Elden Ring took care of that. Elden was like, here's a mimic tier. You don't need anyone else. I was like, so Elden Ring solved it. So if like every Soulsborne going forward has a mimic tier, I don't ever need to play with other people again. And I love that.
I don't see this as being a good game for Damiani. Like it is a struggle for me a bit because like I do like to play these games as like, okay, take my time and explore and like go through every nook and cranny, and like a lot
That's
of it is
what
about
the main game is for. This is a multiplayer spin-off
but
where we
this
can
is
play
like
it together.
This crazy high-paced like rush and like, oh, we just got to go now. Like
It is constant running. It's just amazing.
Yeah, it looks
this definitely feels
exhausting.
like people who are maybe. I mean, it's not competitive in the sense like it's like PvP dueling, but people maybe are bummed out that like the online functionality of like the older games is just like it's just a Wild West shit show kind of right now. Like between like people on PC probably just like straight up like cheating and stuff.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
but like whatever. Like they're meant. You can't turn off. I think Dark Souls 2 you can't even turn off your online. So like anyway. Yeah, this is probably for like multiplayer purists of Souls games. Like, thank you for making a game developed completely around it where you have to play with other people. As you said, like playing solo is like not really viable at all.
I will say-
It's like creators' intent where it's go ahead, Elyse. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry, I cut you off. Please finish what you're saying.
That was really it. That was at the end. My thought.
I was gonna say to your point too. I do love the multiplayer experience of like we're gonna clear this area together.
Yeah.
You're moving at a breakneck speed. It looks like through this, and
But
the
you're
idea of like
together.
we've got to artfully clear this area, and this does seem more like it's like a. Like we run up to this guy, hack him a bunch, and then we run up to
what
the
they
next
just
guy.
did though, like that sort of was like that. There are these little camps where like they'll have a health bar for basically the camp. And so, like, when you kill all the main, you don't have to kill every little grunt. But when you kill all the main enemies in that camp, then like you'll get a reward for it.
Gotcha.
So there is a little bit of that in there.
What I've really liked about this is kind of the emerging strategy elements of it, where it's like yeah, and I hear what Damiani's saying, and like totally, this is it's not like I kind of wish that they would put in kind of a go look around mode, like that would be kind of fun.
Or even like a half speed mode kind of thing.
But I have Elden Ring, so like I don't care. Like I'm not.
Right, but
I have no problem with it. Like this is awesome that this exists.
This is what I was gonna say though. Is like the speed of this is I think so much fun because it's like it's just total insanity and like each run takes 40 minutes, like whatever an hour, and like. By the end of it, you realize you've just been like clenched the whole time, and you're like, "Oh God!" Like,
and one does not simply just walk into an Elden Ring playthrough.
No.
Like that is a huge beast and brick of a game that like you're not going to be playing all the time. Whereas this, like the bite-sized runs
once you
with
get used
each
to
other,
you can definitely like do like a run or two a night. Yeah,
really serves a nice function for a lot of fans that have already played through Elden Ring.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like you're using a speed hack at some points in this footage. Like,
you can sprint, Damiani. That's why.
No, it looks
very,
like
very fast. Damiani, this character.
It looks really fast, and then like how far you could jump down without dying. I was like, wait,
no
what?
fall damage.
There's no fall damage.
I know because I was like, what?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's Souls arcade. Like there's no fall damage. Everything's way faster. The Duchess character specifically is the fastest character. That's why I like her. But like. She has
fast
something.
Women.
She fast. I like fast women, But her passive is just called Magnificent Poise, and so like dodging and attacking just doesn't cost it as much stamina.
Actually, I had one of my and this is another reason I actually like the way this is set up. One of my better runs might have been the one that I actually beat the boss on. Was with the Raider, big guy,
barbarian
huge
type,
friggin' axe, and like. I've I intend to, like, the next Souls game I play to play with, like, a big brute like that, but I've never done that before.
Huh.
Like, in the past, like, I've been more, towards the magic and agility side.
So do you feel like this gives you an opportunity to sort of try out these other characters?
Exactly.
And then
Like, you
don't
can
have to
try out
commit?
these other play styles that ordinarily would involve you, like, messing around with a bunch of skill points and stuff like that in the main game.
And you can just bounce between all of them. Like,
Yeah.
You set up all your characters with their relic rights, and then like, when you're picking your character, if someone else, you can have multiple of the same characters. So like, I've actually been on runs that had 2 duchesses, and we did really well.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to have the same one as someone else, you can just switch when you're about to go to any character you want, and it's like really fun. And the remembrances kind of encourage you to play every character.
And there's like a little training room in the base too before you go out, so you can mess around with the characters to get comfortable with them.
Pseudo related, has the multiplayer game set in the Control universe come out yet?
No, FPC
No,
Firebreak, not yet.
Firebreak, right?
Next
Okay.
month, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming up. I'm always on board for a multiplayer spin-off. I will never say no.
I love that.
Ever.
I love Control.
Ever.
I
will
love Control.
never say no. You give me a single-player game, you give me a Resident Evil, an Elden Ring, a Control, or a Max Payne, and then you give me a multiplayer spin-off, in.
Yeah,
Every time.
That's my thing with this. Go ahead, Demi.
As long as it's the multiplayer Resident Evil we want, Huber.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Bioshock. How'd you feel about that Bioshock one?
Yo, I'm a Resident Evil Resistance defender. I loved it. I loved it.
What about the other one?
Well, they never let me play that one. They like blocked.
yeah,
I was
right.
locked out.
Outbreak Huber?
We had a
I
solution.
know.
He refused to go with it.
Yeah, Huber didn't want to play. That's the thing is like, I don't know. I mean, it's the internet and everybody, whatever. But like, even if this isn't for you, like, I'm not mad at it. Like, I think this game is hilarious. It's wonderful.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's maybe the best thing about it is it's just such a weirdo game. It's hard to find a comparison to it.
Yeah.
It does so many strange things that, like, even if you're a Souls fan, it's like you're gonna have to take some time to adjust and figure out what the heck this game is.
Yeah. Freaking sick.
I love how fast it is. I think it's wonderful.
I agree. Change of pace. Mix it
Yeah.
up. Don't do the same thing every time. We've got more to come. But before we do we have any final thoughts on...
Oh, you're good. Keep going.
Just want to make sure everyone gets it out.
I liked when they hung on to those birds.
So
and
sick.
it made me think of the eagles from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Yes.
Final thought.
Making a Gandalf build. Is it No, can we is it Gandalf
Gandalf.
or Gandalf?
Sometimes they say Gandalf.
Gandalf.
Gandalf. I would say
Dolph.
Gandalf.
Gandalf.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We got more to come, but if you've been enjoying the show so far, please take a second to like, subscribe, help us out, ring that bell on YouTube. Every little bit helps us and helps you stay connected. Also, if you want to sponsor this podcast and put your name right here in this space, get in touch. You can email us at info@easyallies.com and we'll get you all the details. Heck yeah. All right, switching gears from the fast and bloody Nightreign to a T.
Nice.
Yeah, you like that? To a T. Elyse and Blood have been playing this. I remember we saw this at some direct, whatever it was, and it just looks so wholesome, so delightful. Please tell us about it.
This might be the most wholesome game ever made. Yeah, so this is from Keita Takahashi, who did, Nobi Nobi Boy, Katamari, Watam.
Yeah, legendary lineup there.
Little Katamari Easter egg right there. The king's.
The king.
Yeah.
King's the pig king. His
Dude.
color scheme and outfit is.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's another Easter egg that I shared with Isla that was like,
That was crazy. Did he make that?
Yeah.
That's okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Franklin's time adventure for the play date.
But anyways, so the basic idea is that you are a teen, and your default name is teen. You can name your character whatever you want, and then the non-gender specific. It's just whatever hair and clothes you want to wear, and you're stuck in a T pose.
Love it.
Don't know how. Don't know why.
I don't know why. That's so funny.
And so you have to go through all of your daily routine and go to school and all this stuff. and have to deal with kids bullying you.
Yeah.
And just kind of like, that sense of like, growing up and being a teenager and like having to go out in the world. Like one of the things I love, Elyse, about this first time that you walk to school is that like you can't run. Like you have to slow walk because your character does not want to go to school.
No,
that dog is
and
so
the sad
cute.
music is playing.
And you're sadly bumping into people.
Oh yeah, the dog is great too because the dog helps you like put on your clothes and you go to the bathroom and brush your teeth and all this stuff. And then you have Giraffe at the sandwich.
My name is Giraffe. Giraffe is a, well, I guess just like a little sandwich shop.
Yeah. Yeah, because you have to get your sandwich before you go to school, so you have your lunch.
Yeah, this game it's weird and it's charming and very novel and cute.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it quite has the Katamari thing to it, where like Katamari like created a genre of gaming.
So
I felt
innovative,
like. And it was so bonkers. But this was a great time.
I loved the hook of early Katamari too, like the first one on PS2. But all I wanted to do was like get as big as possible.
Oh, it's
that
addictive.
hook of like I need to get bigger. I need to see how big this ball can get.
It does something in your brain as you're playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of my favorite quotes that kind of came out recently from preview events of this game, where somebody had asked Kata something like, so, what is it about you that like you always want to make these really weird concepts and weird games? And he's like, I was trying to make a normal one this time.
Yeah. It does feel like the most normal of his games, though.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
One thing that's great is it's set up in an episodic structure, Huber.
And you have to find the episodes.
Yeah, so that's what the balloon with the 2 on it was. That was where the episode starts.
Okay.
So between episodes, you can kind of like wander around and explore the city a little bit.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Pick up some coins, go to some shops, and then you go to the episode. And then, like an anime, it has the To a T theme song as the opening song.
So jolly.
And then when you get towards like the end of the episode, it has the closing song, which is the Giraffe song.
And the theme songs are, of course, ridiculous.
Oh, they're beautiful. And whenever we get to the end of this clip, we have to play the Giraffe song. I'm not sure how much time I have because I didn't see it. Oh, okay. Let's play
Just play it.
Pause it and play the Giraffe song. Yeah.
I
4 minutes.
will say there were some moments while I was playing it where there are some things that you repeat doing. So you like you're getting up and you're repeating, washing your face and stuff, or you're repeating traversing the same street to get to a place where I was kind of like, I would have been happy if this game just like teleported me to where I needed to be for the next part.
True. Later you do get the train station and stuff.
And you get the unicycle.
Yeah. The one thing that I love is that like I think it's the second or third day. I think it's the second day though. Your mom tells you that you don't have to do the morning routine.
Yeah.
It's your choice, but then you'll be walking around town with stuff in your teeth or eye boogers and whatever.
Yeah, she tells you you're an adult.
And they'll react to you accordingly.
You're 13 years old. You can choose.
But let's pause our thoughts and play the Giraffe song.
I went to a school so I could learn how to cook. Because I love to eat and share food. Cooking is so amazing. I think it's really magical.
This is my next karaoke.
Do it. It's good. Been in my head all week. And there I am. I've lived that scenario several times. My tiny garden to pick the ripest vegetables.
Yes.
Then I go to my tiny garden. I really love my radishes. Don't forget to go to the market to buy the best eggs and cheese. Oh, and also we need some spices and mayonnaise. When I get home, I cook. Oh, it's so tasty.
What a
Let's
bop.
not be hasty. This is amazing. I'm asleep by 7, dreaming of new recipes. Can't wait to see what tomorrow brings.
Wow.
Yeah. So
What a
so we're
sell.
at 4 minutes in the other B-roll.
Not to get too heavy with it, but when I first started playing it, I thought whether it was intended or not, this is kind of a game about accessibility.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
what I think about it too. Yeah.
The main character is like limited
Yeah.
physically
Yeah.
and has to adapt to that and like what that means and is made fun of for that. And, you know, so I'm
Getting
like, oh, I want.
bullied and stuff.
Yeah, and I would be curious to hear from the developer, like, if that's part of what he
Yeah.
said. Or he was just like, wouldn't it be weird if your hands were in a T?
No, it definitely is part of the design intentions there for sure, and about, you know, like the whole game is about, you know, learning to sort of like be okay in your own skin, you know, whether that means that you have a disability or whether you just feel different than other people. There are like exploring the town. There are like I said, there's shops. There's tons of coins. There's way more
Oh my
coins than
gosh,
you
yeah.
need. But there's all kinds of nice little cosmetics and stuff because again, like every morning you wake up, like you need to get dressed and like you
Yeah.
can dress your dog and stuff
Love
too.
that. Are there different hats? I'm sure there are.
Yeah, there's
course.
different. You don't wear any hats.
Yeah.
But you have
Your dog.
hairstyles.
Okay.
But your dog has
Yeah.
hats, so you find hats for your dog. And yeah, this is this bizarre mechanic where I'm trying to turn the TV
Yeah,
on.
this gave me a little bit of a minute where I had to stop and go like, okay. And then even when you think you've turned it enough,
Yeah.
anyway, it only happens once.
Do it again.
I
Love
also
the unicycle.
Yeah, the unicycle is great. One of the great little moments that I think too, because again, like you don't know why you're a T, right? And when you meet up with these other kids and you're going to go biking to the lighthouse because there's this event that happens, they're like, we got to go investigate and figure out what happened. Why did this happen? You come up and you get your unicycle and you're like, they're like, did your unicycle just talk?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The
Eh,
unicycle talk.
And like, yeah, your bikes don't talk. Like, I just assumed that all like just everyone's bikes talked. It was like, no, man, that's not a thing. You know, it's like, oh, well, yeah, my dad made this unicycle for me, you know? And so you get these like little hints about like, you know, what you're going to get into later.
Yeah.
These mini games.
They look so fun. I liked the one at the school, the like gymnastic or the stretching and
yeah,
stuff.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the PE class.
Yeah.
That was fun.
But yeah, so there are 4 giraffe food stations, and each one of them has like a mini game where you have to like eat as much as you can within a time limit, and like if you get number 1, you get like one of the new hairstyles, and some of them are pretty doable, like where I'd get them in the second or third. Others where I'm just like, I don't know. This is not happening. I'm not getting this ice cream thing because it's crazy. Oh yeah, this is the popcorn one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's just like,
This is a Tom Cruise game.
yeah, it's insane trying to catch all the popcorn. There are some things that they're fixing right now. I had a couple of like things that came in that were a little bit hot on the retail build. I don't know if you got to finish.
Coming in hot.
No, I've only played the first 5 episodes. How many are there total?
8.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, this is an insane ice cream game. I had one thing in the last episode that was a full-on blocker that I basically had to roll back to the review build
Oh.
to be able to pass. But they acknowledged it in a tweet today that it's something that's getting fixed in a hot fix, like maybe even before we're done shooting. And then you can... this ability that you learn, you can spin like a tornado
Love
and fly
that.
up into the sky.
So sick.
and
Mega Man.
And
Yeah,
that
Mega
was
Man, dude.
that was a little buggy for me. Where like sometimes when I first start the game, it would work fine, but then sometimes after I've like walked in and out of like a couple of buildings, I would essentially just be kind of like stuck in the ground.
Oh.
So I would only lift off if I like found like an edge between 2 surfaces or something. But again, that's something they noted. So if you haven't played it yet, it might be totally fixed by the time you get to it.
Have you clocked whether a big part of the messaging and the marketing for this game has been that it is from the Katamari Damacy developer.
Yeah, I think so. I also think his art
it up.
style is super clear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gives me that Watam vibes for sure a little bit.
Yeah, one of the dog's hats is the Watam hat.
Love
like one of
that.
the first hats you get.
Nice.
I will say the second half of the game gets extra weird, so look forward to that.
Excellent.
Perfect.
I would say the downside is it goes more into being more of just like an interactive story than
Gotcha.
the first half, where like you're learning to
Exploring
do all of
and
these
stuff.
different like mechanics and
Yeah.
stuff with the T-pose.
Because they want to give you the gut punch, the emotional gut punch.
Right.
So they got to keep you on the rails a little bit.
But it definitely mixes things up to do some things that like you're not expecting, and also the one thing I really like is that opening song sequence. Even though it plays every episode, it changes based on what is happening at that time in the story. So there's little
Emotional
things
beats.
to keep your eye out for, just differences and things like that.
Excellent.
And Huber, you played TMNT TT.
I did.
Is that
I absolutely did. Great transition.
We got so many T's over here.
Fantastic.
to a T right into TMNT
TMNT TT. TMNT TT. Teenage Ninja Turtles Tactical Takedown. Dude. To a T and Promise Mascot Agency, man. Those are two games I desperately need to get to this year.
2T is only
that
like
are just
6-7
doing some like
hours,
weird.
so it's good.
Yeah, some weird
Promise
things.
Mascot you can sink a lot of time into.
Yeah, for sure. But Turtles, dude. Here we go. Did you know that this is the first ever turn-based Ninja Turtles game? Ever?
That's wild.
Does that blow your mind?
Insane.
Yeah.
Have any
that
kind of
seems
turn-based game,
Right?
yeah.
unusual?
This game's they've been making Turtles games for 30 plus years.
Is this the first like isometric
yeah,
one too?
tactics. Okay, so this game is jolly, but it starts heavy. Mm-hmm. You ready, Damiani, for the lore?
Yeah.
You ready for the
Let's hear it.
premise?
Who's dead?
Splinter and Shredder dead.
Wait,
Whoa.
Dead.
Yeah.
At the start of this game.
Tell me
dude,
they died
dead.
in each other's arms.
We don't know. We don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, dead.
Oh, it's a mystery. Okay.
Dead. And the Foot has a new leader,
Shit,
of course.
okay.
Few, you
The
know.
Angel.
Shredder's daughter.
Who-
Yep.
I was just
yep.
going to say the knee.
Yep.
Oh.
Damiani nailed it. Yep.
What? Who is
Say
it?
Super Shredder?
Shredder's daughter.
Shredder's daughter, Kyrie, I believe her
Oh,
name is.
yeah, I
Kyrie,
remember
yeah.
her.
She's like in the cartoon a little bit, just
Yeah, I remember her from the
some
show.
comics and stuff. There's actually a really good one where there's a comic book that I have where Shredder dies and she takes over. That one is sick. I forget the fucking name of it. I should have brought it in. But this game it's bite-sized. You can go through a level. There's like 20 levels. They're all pretty much set up like this. This one is pretty linear. I have another clip of like you're in the city a little bit. New York. They love New York, Gabby. They're always hyping
As
it up.
subways are.
Yep.
Pretty linear, those trains.
Yeah, there's Gabby. There's
Typically.
like a New York hot dog vendor sometimes that'll just like throw hot dogs out for you to pick up to like
Nice.
to like
Love that.
heal up. Now obviously there's pizza everywhere, of course, but yeah, there's like 20 levels. Each level is about 10 to 15ish minutes. But if you fail the mission, like if you fail a level, you got to go all the way back to the beginning. So it can be a little punishing. It is a little challenging.
No rewind.
No rewind,
Undo, no
you-
Fire Emblem
Yeah.
stuff where you can undo your thing.
Yeah. So yeah, there's about 20 levels, and you play as one turtle at a time, controversially here.
Wait,
That's interesting.
What?
One at a time.
So we
because
don't
the
get
Foot Clan have come, there's chaos everywhere. The turtles needed to split up, man.
So do the turtles have unique, like they can move a certain number of spaces, or like,
Every
what are
turtle
they-
has their own moveset. Yes. For example, Leonardo, when he kills an enemy with like the rad slash, your next attack will be stronger. He also has one where if you kill an enemy, you'll gain better evasion. You can dodge some attacks. Raphael, when he kills someone, he gets another action for everyone he kills, so he can just start chaining kills.
He's such a baby. Yeah. He's whining, I know. I know Raphael.
Michelangelo, he's got good movement. He's got his freaking skateboard. Like if you launch over someone and kill him, you get like more actions and stuff.
Oh, nice.
So there's quite a bit of nuance, but it's never overwhelming because really you have your move, your movement, and then like 3 or 4 abilities. That's it.
Yeah.
So you don't have to think, and you only have your one character, so you don't even need to worry about like synergy and stuff.
There's no allies whatsoever.
So
like no one, like in a stage like that you can meet up with and help you. Or
so you have an ultimate thing. It's up there. It's flashing. You push T.
You, like, call in,
and you can call in like a drone from one of them.
Oh, okay.
They don't even show up. It's crazy. I know.
So we never get the full squad in action.
Unless it's at the very end of the game, which I'm not at. There's 20 levels. I've finished like 13 of them.
Well, so you mentioned that like you have these particular skills per character and stuff. Like, can you upgrade or like acquire new ones?
So when you finish a level, you get coins, and then there's a shop. You can buy songs to listen to, like different music tracks. Really, really good variety of music in the game, like techno, hip hop.
No,
like not that, unfortunately.
Not the song you were singing.
Yeah, none of that. Yeah, you can buy. It's the thing though where you can buy new moves, but they replace old moves, and it's just a matter of like what you want to go for. So you could like replace a melee move for a ranged one. They have different functions here and there, but I didn't really mess.
Phil Turtles.
Yeah, dude, who is it? Is it Donatello or Michelangelo? Someone has like a kunai they can throw that just like stuns an enemy. You can just keep throwing that at enemies, dude. It's intense. Now here's
one thing I really actually kind of like, and I wasn't sure what I thought about it looking at footage before, but is this take on like their miniatures, right?
Oh yeah,
like they have the
visuals.
Bases and everything like that.
Yeah,
yeah.
They look so cool. You'll see little text pop up too. There's like some dialogue before the levels and after where they talk to each other. Really good art style. Yeah, when the enemy turn comes in, you see like the foot. What's really crazy about this is that you need to keep moving. So you'll see the level will like part of the level will turn red. That means that entire section of the level is gonna drop.
Okay.
And then when you see this is just the move grid, but then you'll see another green part, and it's like okay, the level's gonna come up. It's gonna like form onto the map. Okay. So basically you're trying to get to the end of each level while the level is falling and adding to encourage you to keep moving forward, to not so they're
something,
evolution is what we call it.
It was unique. It is unique. And it feels good because there is like this constant danger and urgency. Again, this game is a little challenging. It's not super easy. It's not.
I mean, dynamic. Huh?
Yeah.
There are more environmental things you have to deal with, though, like obstructions that you have to destroy to progress. Because I was gonna say, if it was just the falling thing, it doesn't seem too complicated. But like, I imagine there has to be like more to it. Yeah.
Damiani did classic. Fire hydrants, dude. Yes. Classic. Yeah. You can hit the fire hydrant at like...
As opposed to the modern fire hydrant.
Well, just the turtles, dude. You're always hitting the fire hydrants in those old turtle beat 'em ups.
Any rolling balls?
Not that I saw.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cannonballs.
There's like stage hazards too, but they're clearly marked. It'll be like, oh, you can't move there, else you'll be shocked. You'll be stunned there.
Gotcha.
And yeah, the enemies do quite a bit of damage. Sometimes like super powered enemies will come in, and if you don't kill them, they'll spawn more enemies in. So
infinite spawns?
Almost, dude. Things can get out of hand. It gets out of control. Yeah, I played quite a bit of this game, and I haven't had any boss fights yet. I did look at a review about it. I was like, "Where are there bosses in this game?" And they were like, "They're like at the end of the game, and they're not that great." That was a criticism. Unmemorable bosses, which is kind of a staple in the Turtles franchise. You got a lot of heavy hitters. Baxter Stockman is involved in the lore. Gabby, Baxter Stockman hype.
Love him.
You love Baxter Stockman.
Yeah, you do.
10 out of 10.
He's pretty
the
fly.
bug
He's a
guy?
pretty fly guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Please.
So good.
Okay, so if you're somebody who like loves the classic Ninja Turtles arcade games, like
Yeah.
that's your bread and butter, will you like this game, or is this just for like a tactics person?
I think both. I think obviously if you like turtles a lot, like if you love turtles, you probably have your eye on it. You should check it out.
What if you played a lot of Destiny 2? I played a lot of Destiny 2.
No
Okay.
co-op.
All right.
So I think if you like Destiny, this will not be for
That's
you.
my only frame of reference for Elden Ring. Okay.
And then
And maybe I'm wondering if it copied Destiny 2 a little too much. I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it, but
Final Shape is so sick.
is there a Zur type
sick.
character in
Loves
Elden
her.
Ring?
Loves her.
Do we know?
Yeah.
Should be. There is a merchant.
You come at
actually.
me, I'm
There
coming
is a
at you.
merchant
There's a
on the
merchant.
map.
I'm
Yeah,
hearing it now.
There is a merchant on
There's
the map.
several merchants on
Yeah.
the map.
For
The
sure.
lawyers on the horn.
Yeah, but not Zur like.
The Loisers.
I hated Zur. I hate it.
Yeah,
I was
you
every
just
day I gotta go to
Google
Zur.
Where the hell is
Where is Zur?
Where the hell is he?
Yeah, but I really like this game. I don't think it's like the best game ever made, but I love the turtles and I love tactical games, and it's short, like 5 to 6 hours. And this is the first, like I said at the start, this is the first turn-based Turtles game. So it's, we have had a lot of Turtles beat 'em ups over the years, 2D, 3D even with not Mutant Mayhem, that's the movie,
No,
but
I know what you're talking about.
Mutants Unleashed. The one that's like Persona in the Mutant Mayhem universe. I love that one. So yeah, it's giving me as a Turtles fan a different way to play a Turtles game, and I'm super into it. So yeah, check it out. And it's on Steam. Right now it's on sale, $18.
Nice.
$18 for a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. Can't beat it. So sick. All right. Moving on to top 10 best dressed characters. This is from our patrons. Should we just dive right in? Again, this is from our patrons, so consider supporting Easy Allies. If you're a patron, you can get in on this and vote.
This happens in our Discord
This
every
happens-
month. We
yep,
have these
this-
top 10s.
Yes. These
So
are
it's-
always very fun.
So how does it work? Like somebody poses, you guys pose the question?
They
or-
do.
The mods handle it.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, cool.
but yeah, so every month they have a different topic.
Yeah.
And everyone that's in the Discord can jump into
That's
the
really
top
fun.
10 topics and suggest who they want in there, and then they do a voting round.
Does the discussion get like pretty like involved and rambunctious between like people in the Discord talking about
You
it?
tell me, blood.
I don't know. I usually just get the
They're
results.
brutal. They're
see-
brutal to each
yeah.
other. Yeah.
Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to hear.
Hunger Games out here.
I
It's
should-
crazy.
They're sending each other like video files, being like, "No, you stupid bastard."
Perfect. Exactly. So join that. Be part of that.
Do we have any guesses for the top 10?
Where are the Turks at?
The Turks.
Ooh.
Was that
They're not. I know you said already Vincent, but if you said the Turks are not on there,
No Turks?
There's someone that I would put on this list, and I'm curious
Turks.
if they're even on here.
Wow.
no Reno, no Rude, no.
Well, I
Reyna,
mean, we'd have
no-
to, let's see, we'd have to look at Final Fantasy VII.
Is Elizabeth from BioShock Infinite on this list?
Reno is at 34.
Reno's on there.
There, okay,
34.
redeemed.
Both year, number 57. Shout out.
Wait, at 57.
Yeah, that's low. That's
What?
low, dude.
He's
That should be
gassed.
higher up. That
Nope,
should
no
absolutely be
Bioshock.
higher.
That is
no
an
Elizabeth.
affront.
Elizabeth
Yeah.
had so many good looks.
Damiani, number 7 is Hilda from Heavensward.
Oh, really?
There you go.
Wait, go in order. I got images here. I can't just.
I'm sorry,
jump
I'm
back
just
and
shooting-
Just
jump
jumping
all over the
around.
place.
I'm just shouting random ones. I'm going to do the top 10 officially.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
upset about Elizabeth.
Yeah.
That's an egregious oversight.
Yeah.
and
the amount of cosplays that inspired,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was an iconic image.
yeah, patrons, come on,
For sure.
stop fighting with each other and work toward the cause.
Also, I just want to shout out to dead last Susie from Deltarune. Was dead last, 2 votes, but she made the cut.
Nice.
All right, top 10. Quite a lot tied at number 10. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tied for number 10 with 20 votes a pop.
That's a lot.
Starting out with Agent 47.
Okay,
From
there you go.
Okay, so is the argument there that you can change clothes so much that
I think it's
therefore...
Even the
Probably
iconic
just the
suit
iconic
with the
suit,
red
yeah.
tie?
Come on.
That's some iconic shit.
Oh my gosh, please.
Look at that.
He's
The
dressed to kill.
gloves.
No, you don't put Elizabeth from Bioshock on this
I know.
man. This
Elizabeth?
nothing man is number one.
Elizabeth, no, Elizabeth
nothing,
is like
man.
offensive. I was
Do you think he
offended.
waxes?
I was offended by no
It
Vincent
falls.
Valentine, but no Elizabeth.
Come on. But I mean, I would say if your argument is he can take on any fashion, that's
Yeah,
a fun argument to
that
say.
is good.
Like a
Flamingo
Kirby.
suit.
Kirby, I would be like, well, he can take on any clothing.
Also, number 10,
Yeah,
Joker,
clown suit.
Persona 5.
Oh,
Okay. All right.
Sick.
Pretty good. I love this is a
Phantom
figurine.
Thieves.
That's
Love the
great.
Phantom Thieves. Also, number 10, Kazuma Kiryu, Yakuza.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't even play it, and it's like, Yakuza better be on there.
I mean, it's Al Pacino Scarface, right? Is essentially
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
he's dressed
fully,
as.
fully.
And ranked higher than Majima. So the war rages on.
Oh, true.
I'm-
Also tied for 10, Leon S. Kennedy,
yes.
dude.
I
Yeah.
can't help but think this is these are all dudes. No,
We'll get
it's
there.
not
We're still on number
fashionable.
10. There's 100 choices.
Oh, this is number 10.
Yeah, they're-
Yeah,
Oh,
these are
okay,
all
okay,
10.
I wouldn't be
okay.
shocked
Yeah.
if like there are a lot of Capcom characters on here.
Also, last one. Oh, there's 2 more at number 10. Sephiroth.
All right, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think Sephiroth's reputation precedes him. I wouldn't have him in the top 10. That's my hot take.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he's a little overhyped
You're
here
making
with
it
his
personal.
fashion.
Too many buckles?
Like the shoulder pads,
The football
dude.
pads.
Come on. Yeah,
They do look like football pads. It's a little dumb.
yeah, the X strap there with like the bare chest underneath.
You're
Come
biased.
on.
Listen, it was a different time.
Yeah.
No shirt
Also, number
second.
10 easily would put on this list.
Oh,
Yuna.
yeah. Oh, baby.
Yuna.
10 out of 10.
Oh, baby.
Summoner Yuna.
Dress
yeah.
spheres, dude?
Not,
Iconic.
yeah.
Iconic.
Summoner Yuna.
All right, number 9 with 22 votes. Ezio, dude.
Yeah.
Ezio de Auditore.
Yeah.
This costume is in 73 games.
Yeah. Final Fantasy 15 has it, right?
Crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Crazy.
It is really elaborate.
Yeah.
If it was costumes in most games, then Sam Fisher would be number one.
Yeah. And I will.
No, it'd be near. It'd be 2D.
Oh, it'd be near. yeah,
Or
too.
dude, or
Dude, it's
or
2D on-
Ezio. Honestly, Ezio is in so many. It's insane. And they counted. They specifically shouted out the Brotherhood version.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I really like. Number
Here
7.
she is.
Speaking of. Okay.
Speak of the devil.
Yoko
here we-
Wait,
Taro wins.
that's 2B, not.
Oh,
There you
Listen,
go.
man, I have
There we
them
go.
in the order
They're
I
They're
have
both
them.
7 though. We're good. They're both 7. Yep. Here's Ada Wong,
That
Resident Evil
dress.
4.
God
You
tier.
could,
God
you could
tier
have taken
dress.
her right out of Resident Evil 4 and put her in a Bond film.
Absolutely.
You know, it's
The
like,
butterflies, dude. Come on.
yes, come on.
Oh my gosh.
Ada Wong. Dude.
The
so
shoes,
good.
they're like a
holster
Mary Jane,
strap?
but not
Ugh,
like a ballet.
So sick.
Mary Jane. Oh, yeah,
she's the greatest.
great.
Ada Wong.
Also in 7 with 23 votes 2B,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
Should
Honestly,
be over there.
I'm surprised at the restraint that she's only at 7.
Yeah, you're
Proud of
right.
you. I'm proud of you, Chad.
You're right. All right, now we have a gnarly tie for number 3 as well. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 at number 3.
Yeah.
Aerith, Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Dude, she's god tier.
Love
And
it.
I'm not just saying that because I accidentally cosplay as her like almost every
Yeah, you've got that like red leather jacket.
I have 3 red leather
Oh.
jackets.
Dude, Aerith is so great. Shout out.
Surprised. They're not going through all the Ever Crisis outfits.
And?
Very restrained.
Also,
And?
she's a goddess, a peak hard femme though. She's got the leather jacket, the sundress, and
It's
the combat
the
boots.
boots.
Dude.
Yeah.
This is my
The
vibe.
bracelets.
This is just actually my vibe. Hard femme, dude.
I really love that she outranked Tifa. Tifa gets all the love, all the hype.
yeah.
Everyone is Tifa this, Tifa that, Tifa you, Tifa who.
Listen,
But Aerith.
But Tifa's sporty. Sporty's not
Yeah.
generally seen as best dressed.
Sure.
although there's a thing in fashion, especially online, where it's like is it fashion or are you just hot? Like,
Yes.
is it fashion or are you just skinny? And it's like, I think that this shows that our patrons know fashion over big titties, and I respect that.
The fashionistas.
People will take like iconic outfits and say, is it a great outfit or did it just look great on Sarah Jessica Parker in Sex and the City?
Right.
You know, and I think this is a cool outfit.
It's something that everyone has to go through where it's like, will I look good in this dress, or is this just the Reformation girl looks good in this dress?
100%. Do I have broad shoulders for my size? Absolutely.
Same.
100%. Like Damiani, like he knows it. He knows he's seen them.
The Sephiroth. You need the Sephiroth shoulder pads.
Like,
I need that. I like
go.
amazing.
will this dress allow me to create the illusion of a waist? You know, like you have to think about these things.
All right. Also, number 3, Big Bad Orin.
Yeah, dude.
So sick.
He said, "Give me a sleeve that I can. I'm not going to put my hand through the sleeve. I'm going to tuck it right here."
I love the samurai vibe with the arm through. It's so sick, and the gourd.
Is the jug thing they carry around actually called?
A gourd?
Like, yeah, thank you, gourd. I was like, starts with a G. I can't remember it.
He said, "Give me some extra buggles. I'm not going to."
It always bothered me that his
anime gourds, top 10
anime
gourds. You know there's some good ones here.
Guard number one, it's done. Guard number one. Gotta be number one. Gotta be number one. Yo.
Oh my
it's
God.
always bothered me that his eye scar and the busted arm are on separate sides.
Different injuries.
Different
Unrelated
battles.
Injuries.
Dude, don't tempt me with Final Fantasy X right now. I cannot do this. I cannot do it.
Is that the easiest way to take down a warrior? Is to like poke a hole in their gourd?
My fire water.
Okay. I will not play Final Fantasy X tonight. Chun-Li, also number 3.
Of course.
Iconic outfit.
It's a great outfit.
The buns. The buns are so cool. Are they buns?
Which ones?
We just call those buns? What?
Yeah,
the like white little
yeah.
hairband type things?
Hot cross buns.
Yeah. So good.
Also just like best thighs in the business.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Probably.
Definitely like Xenia on a top in GoldenEye thighs for sure.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
All right, I am actually really, really happy with our patrons for this. I am so happy about this. Fuck yeah. Jill from Final Fantasy 16
Wow.
This is
at
amazing.
number 3. Yes!
This is a great outfit.
Patrons, you have pleased me today. You have pleased me. I will not
pleased this day?
because I will not fucking stand for anyone that says Jill is a boring character in Final Fantasy 16. I will not allow it. I will not accept it.
Does she have mismatched boots? I love that. Maybe it's just
so
this picture.
sick. Look at this outfit.
God, she's cool.
So cool.
Picture. She's boring as hell in the game, but this picture, she looks amazing.
Number 2, also patrons. The respect.
Oh, wow.
The respect for Final Fantasy 16.
All right, recency bias, dude.
Yo!
Recency bias.
Now, or is it like,
Recency bias.
are we getting both Clive and
is this
like
for-
the patrons to give Ben Star as well?
I was going to say, is this where maybe
Ben?
the voice actor is a little too influential in the decision here?
Maybe. I sense some doubt. I sense some doubt from the panel here.
He's absolutely a leather daddy.
No, this is a great outfit.
Like-
it's a great outfit. But number 2, Charles?
Two, even I will admit, 2 is a little high up there.
This is a number 8 tops.
You're right. I think you're
Video
right.
games of all time?
I think you're right. I will accept those terms.
Our chat's not horny enough. To be.
I mean, that clavicle's doing a lot of overtime.
That's true. Look
my
at this
gosh.
cut right here.
Yeah.
God damn.
Damiani's like, yeah.
We got other Final
neck
Fantasy characters that should be above this, but it's okay.
Yeah,
No,
where's
I
that
agree.
belt bitch? Where's Lulu or whatever?
Oh, wait, is Sora on this list?
Do number 1.
20.
We'll just power the
Number 20.
About Sora.
Number
Sora
20.
number 20.
Sora number
Good,
20.
Good, good.
There it is.
The
Sora
big
number
shoes,
20.
the oversized shoes.
The Kingdom Hearts 2 version as well.
Okay,
the
I was gonna
best.
say not one. Better
2.
not be one.
No. Excellent. Okay. Oh, and Majima we brought up earlier. Majima ranked 28th as well. From Yakuza 0 specifically as well. Okay. Which brings us to the number 1 Best dressed with 27 votes.
You goddamn right.
Here we
Alucard.
Yep.
Yo.
Thank you.
100%.
100.
Great work, everyone.
Yeah.
Alucard
That is how it works.
Lock it in.
class personified. Look at that.
So good.
Yeah.
Did you watch Nocturne? Castlevania Nocturne?
And
the
I just have
newest-
that
newest one?
Netflix
No,
voice in my
I
head
watched-
forever.
Yeah, the best voice actor.
I watched, I think, the first 2 seasons
Yeah.
of the original Castlevania,
Okay.
which was great, which was
Yeah.
amazing.
Dude.
I saw the cat and Stray fly by.
I'm gonna speed run this list.
Literally-
we've got pictures. I'm gonna speed run this.
Alucard is ASMR, the voice.
All right.
Oh.
All right.
Perfect.
Relax your eyes, Chad. I'm
Relax
gonna
your
speed
eyes.
run this list.
But stop on but stop on 39.
Is it the Grim Fandango skeleton?
Yeah, Manny was in there, I think.
Manny, yeah.
Oliver Zetti is such a good pick.
Is Bayonetta on this list?
I think Bayonetta
Oh,
was in there.
okay.
Oh, Gordon Freeman.
Dude,
action.
Winter
World Use. I was
sucks.
like,
It's so
yeah, there's
stuttery.
definitely Worlds into you.
Yo, Ethan Winters. Shout out.
Oh my God, Luba or whatever her name is.
Girahim Damiani.
Oh, I won't get into that.
Nice. Our hero
Nice.
from
I hate his hair, dude.
Vanderbilt.
oh my
Oh,
gosh.
Signalis girl. Hell
Yeah. Oh, Super Mario Classic, of course.
Oh, Grim Fandango.
Love his little suspenders.
Oh my God, she's so good.
Oh,
Overalls.
nice.
Oh yeah, yeah.
These are
Oh,
some
Mercy.
Oh my God.
Miklo,
good
good.
picks.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Roxy? Yeah,
Chun-Li
Roxy,
again.
yes.
Was that Chun-Li
Yes.
again?
I don't know.
that
I would
version
say
of Chun-Li.
I would say Roxy like also fits a genre of style that we're like not seeing too much of. Because a lot of this is like the Final Fantasy-esque kind of like fantasy.
Oh my
garb.
God, yeah.
Oh, big lady.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Oda, dude! Oda, there we go. That's the first Jill Valentine. That's the
Oh,
first.
fragile, hell yeah.
Yeah,
The cat.
Fragile.
I think the cat is
Oh,
The cat is hilarious.
there we go. Jill remake
Yeah.
Jill.
Is that Funky Kong?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's Bayonetta.
Yeah.
Oh, but the Bayonetta 2
Was that
Bayonetta.
Virgil,
I
very
mean-
nice.
Solid
Very
Snake,
nice
gotta
of
have him.
Virgil.
Dutch. Okay.
Dutch. Gabby, dude.
Wesker,
the Dutch
alright.
pick.
RE4 Wesker, yeah.
Revolver
Dante.
Ocelot. Gotta have
very nice.
Ocelot.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mirror's Edge. Oh, Cammy, dude, come on.
Mirror's Edge. I'm gonna.
There you go.
Yep.
There went
Yep.
Oh.
Okay.
Ayla. All right,
yeah,
Ayla. I like
okay.
Ayla. Yeah, her outfit's sick. Sora.
Your boy?
Oh,
Your boy,
Dude,
your baby.
lightning.
Yeah, lightning.
dude.
Claire.
Man, ranking. Oh, and Adam Jensen is
Adam Jensen's pretty good.
So good.
Adam Jensen's pretty good.
And Yennefer's so
Yennefer.
good.
Yeah, Yennefer's real good.
Dang.
All right.
Nice.
Dang.
That's a hot
You
and
got it.
sexy list, chat.
Very,
Patrons.
very, very good.
Oh, my man, Captain
I
Element.
tried to shout out as many of those as I could. But,
I've got a little bias. I would rank
audio listeners.
Lightning above Clive. I love Lightning's outfit. Big fan.
Clive was too high, yeah.
Also, I'm alone in this. I'm obsessed with Remake 3 Jill. Just a
Yeah,
normal
she's
outfit.
great.
She's
She's
just wearing
great.
pants and a shirt and like some holsters. Like, that's it. She's got like the elbow pad. I love it. I love the way she looks in that game. It's so cool. Yeah, dude. Just a little tank top going in.
Yeah.
All about it.
This is, though, I would say her outfit here is very Lara Croft in the first of the Tomb Raider
Yeah.
remakes.
This is not a best dress. I can understand why you would
This
like
is just
it.
how I
yeah.
dress.
Where my-
I love
Sure.
this.
My man, Coach.
Big fan. All right, that was a fun list. If you want to get in on that, consider becoming a patron for Easy Allies. Next month's theme, the dreaded
No.
water levels.
No.
I love it. I love it. Oh, it's going to be so
So we're
fun.
ranking the best water levels?
When I
Like-
was playing Last of Us 2, every time we got in a boat, Sophia would start the water level music. It enhanced my enjoyment. Oh my
is
God,
funny.
dude.
That is
Shout
funny.
out in the airport the other day. There was this woman next to me in the recombobulation area post security, right? And I noticed on her leg, she's got a Millennia tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
Easy.
hey, is that Millennia? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, sick. Then I showed her I was like, I got the Blade of Mercy from Bloodborne. And then she's like, oh, hang on. And she like goes through her photos. And she has an entire back tattoo of the
Whoa.
doll
Whoa.
and the Firekeeper.
Whoa.
Whoa.
And I was like, this is a cool lady.
Jeez.
It's awesome. And I was like,
Committed.
well, good
Cool.
work. And then we never saw each other again.
You could
Super
be
committed.
playing
Wonderful.
Elden Ring together right now.
I love that you get the name wrong every time.
What is it called?
Elden
Nobody
Ring.
tell her. Nobody
love
tell
it.
her.
Well, no, it's Elden Ring Nightreign, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm shortening it to Elden Ring.
Elden
Yeah.
Ring.
Elden-
I
I've
think
cut
we
out
should
the
all
ring
call
and
it
the
Elden
knight.
Ring.
I love it.
I think
I
that's
call it
I'm gonna
Destiny
call it
2.
that.
Did you see the
Elden Ring.
double
Yeah.
though? Rain versus Rain.
REIGN.
Yeah.
Yes, I knew
It's
that.
a double entendre.
Yeah.
Also, the water levels nominations open June 11th, so get in there.
Right after Scoof.
Skiv. Also this week, Bloodworth.
Yo, shout out to Big Hops.
Big hops.
Yeah, starting pre-SGF announcements, right with the frog game.
Insta frog game.
We got a frog game. Actually pretty nice looking.
That's a sick looking frog.
Yeah.
That is a sick looking frog.
Dude. Top 10 frogs immediately.
Yeah.
Look at this guy.
Oh my lord. This is
He is
a
a
wonderful
cutie.
frog.
Wow.
Elyse, do you see the frog?
That's a console seller.
yeah.
That is.
This is a mascot.
This is Frog Rain.
frog rain.
And then the mechanics very like Mario
Oh
Galaxy 2
my.
Yoshi with some of
Okay,
the
all
Good.
right. This looks
This is
very
so
Yeah.
edit.
Yeah.
This
This
looks
looks very
amazing.
fun.
We're
a
in.
good stamina meter.
When is
Really
this out,
bad.
Blood?
So this is out later this year. It is
look
they
at
just
the
launched
water.
a Kickstarter this week to get everything finished off. So Kickstarter is going to help with VO and localization and console ports.
Oh my god, picking the lock
the
with
lock with your
its tongue, dude.
This game looks great.
Good.
So it's
Yeah.
big. It's Big Hops, and is that what the Kickstarter's called?
Yeah, I'm sure you just search for Big Hops on Kickstarter, Big Hops video game, something like that.
Damn.
Try the free demo on Steam
That's true. There's a demo as well out right now.
right now. How many people are downloading it right now, watching it, do it right now?
But
Crazy.
Dis.
Ooh, it still needs help getting to its goal. They've got 25 days to go, but they're at 19,000 out of 40,000.
okay, about halfway.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
good stuff.
Dude, big
Halfway
hops.
this early is pretty promising.
Good.
Yeah.
I hope they make it because this game looks
Yeah, that's-
amazing.
Yeah.
Really,
If
really
you want,
cute.
if you want to play this on Switch too, and not just be locked on PC. get on
Yeah.
that. Yeah. We talked. We kind of got into this a little bit with the EA news. So it's nice, with all the layoffs and stuff happening, that we do have new studios sometimes coming up in the wake.
Yeah.
And this week we learned about Atlantis Studio, a new team in the south of France headed up by former Ready at Dawn lead Rue Willems
Hell yeah. My man.
and Nico Augusto.
My man.
They've also got devs on the team from Ubisoft and Midgar Studio who did Edge of Eternity. We don't know anything really about their first game other than it's Unreal 5. But they are hiring. So if you're in the south of France, that's a place to look.
Yeah.
Or you want to move to the south of France, hey,
I was gonna say,
not so bad.
will they rescue us?
Are you a technical artist or a combat designer?
I could be.
Man, I love Ready at Dawn.
But Cuber. So along with that, Rue revealed in a French interview with Julien Chiez that the Order 1886 had been planned as the first in a trilogy.
Of course. We assumed, but we have like full on.
Yeah, now we have real
confirmation.
confirmation. So the Order 1891 had already begun early development, but was unfortunately canceled. And it was meant to be followed by the Order 1899. Apparently, 1891 was planned to have bigger fights as well as multiplayer, which was also initially planned for the first game. So
1899 plus minus 0, Arthur Morgan, Gabby. Wow. I just want to shout out the Order 1886 every chance I get because I really love that game. And I just think the world and everything they set up, like, that was such a good foundation.
Yeah.
But it definitely got some heat for being on the shorter side, being a console exclusive, and the combat was like cool, but it didn't like innovate anything, you know? The innovation for me was like the world and the tech. But yeah, man, just one of those ones
What
that
could
I'll
have been.
always, what could have been, like Days Gone, kind of like Days Gone, probably never see another one there. And it's just like, dude, the foundation sometimes is so cool. It's like, I want to see where they take it.
Yeah.
So.
The technical side on the Order 1886 is still
Incredible.
insane.
The finale of that game is
The
so
game
sick.
looks like too good for the platform.
Yeah, those
looks
graphics are bananas.
good.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the freaking dude, all the blimps and stuff. When you go on the blimp and you
The
have the
blimp,
shootout in
yep.
the kitchen, all the things are like falling off the shelves. The weapons are cool. That game got so much unnecessary hate. Holy shit. Whatever.
I mean, I think it's valid
Bastards.
criticism. I do think
Whatever.
it's valid criticism here. But, yeah.
Dude, before that game came out, every single article was like, the order is only 5 hours. That's a good thing nowadays.
Well, yeah, now at this point in my life, I'm like, give me
Good.
a great 5
Yeah.
to 8 hour single player game. that
Seriously,
I can,
order comes out now, and it's like, yo, the game's like 6 hours. Everyone's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah, it'd be a feature now.
Like
Yes.
insane, dude. This came out at a time when like Assassin's Creed was 100 hours.
Especially also if you have a companion multiplayer mode, and you say, okay, knock yourself out. If you
Yeah.
want to be in this universe more, go play that. But you got a really tight 6 hour
Totally.
single player campaign.
Yeah.
Bums me out what could have been. Now we can hope for maybe a secret level episode. Could that ever happen? Who has the rights there?
I mean, Sony has the rights.
Okay.
So it could happen.
Let's get
but
one of those.
They're
I'll
going to
take what I
look
can
at it as
get.
a marketing vehicle, so I don't know if they would
Yeah.
bite.
Dude, the world was so sick. Werewolves, damn it. Duh!
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, he said he had the whole, plot summary sketched out. So.
Crazy.
And since EA doesn't care anymore, Huber, remember we were talking about before this round of
Yeah.
shutdowns a couple weeks back, they stopped making rally games at Codemasters.
Yeah.
Which is insane. So now, Nacon has once again secured the license for WRC, the World
Okay.
Rally Championship.
All right.
They are preparing to begin development soon, with new games expected to start rolling out in 2027.
Nice.
They have the rights for WRC through 2032. Quote, this project represents a complete reboot of the franchise
Love that.
based on an entirely fresh vision and marks an ambitious new chapter in the brand's development.
So sick.
So I'm hoping that they have poached in some Codemasters guys that have been working on things on that
Poach.
side of things. Because, I mean,
Poach 'em.
if EA's not going to take care of them, it's like, hey,
Yeah.
keep working on Rally with us.
Do anything to spite EA.
Right?
Anything you can do. A rally game with a rally driver on your show.
Yes.
Oh.
Sick would that be?
Oh my gosh.
The
there's such a-
co-pilot, dude. Co-pilot. The whole like we're going left here, left in 1 mile, left in 1 mile. Like
There-
oh,
Do it while
They're-
driving in a real rally car.
You have no
you're playing
idea.
it on the Steam Deck. Like
Dude, my
There's
friends and I
such a
used
wish
to do
list.
that. Sorry, go ahead.
No, just there's just such a wish list of like cool, interesting people, like getting like an aerospace engineer.
Have you done
someone from-
Power Wash Simulator yet?
We've talked about earlier.
unlimited ideas.
Like getting someone from the JPL to come in,
That
or getting
mortuary
an
game?
F1 driver, and like there's so many.
That's a little crazy. That is
Good
something that would be
mortuary
fun.
assistant with
No,
a mortuary.
oh,
you
no,
could
no,
get
no,
my
like-
ex-girlfriend. She did mortuary assistant.
Yeah,
shit.
it's come up. It's
My
there's
friend works
a-
at JPL. Let me know.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's
yeah.
like pretty intense, high up there.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah.
But we apparently all know
Genius
people
engineer.
at JPL. Yeah.
What's up?
I know a couple people there too.
Nice.
You guys
Yeah.
got.
I bet
I
they
don't know
work. I bet
shit.
they work under my person. Blood.
Probably not. They
Wait, I do know someone at JPL also.
the guys that I know are actually they're actually artists. They're on they're about like coming up with all these crazy installations.
My friend helps people go into space.
Do you remember the exoplanet posters that they did a couple years back that like look like old like sci-fi covers?
No,
No,
but
but
that
that
sounds.
sounds-
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so one of my friends
Show
that
me.
I've known for like 25 years did those.
Whoa.
So, but anyways, yeah. So it's
Okay.
like they're all about like communicating these big picture science ideas to
Sick.
the government and the public, and like just like give people an idea like why this matters.
Love that.
Right?
I'm thinking Easy Allies tour of the JPL.
Yeah.
Elyse
We
comes
know
on,
everybody
too.
there.
You know what?
I mean, I honestly haven't been there. So.
Oh, I a billion years ago did a tour because they would have these public tours you
Oh,
could
maybe
do.
I did go there one
But
time.
y'all might
Okay,
be able
anyway.
to just like get a
Yeah, we can walk right on.
know, a friend
VIP
tour.
access.
Of course, less than 2 weeks before launch, some Switch 2 units have predictably broken street dates.
Crazy.
yep.
Players have foolishly posted videos
Oh.
that the Nintendo ninjas are already stamping out. But they're reporting that the first batch of units will not even launch a game without first connecting to the internet and updating the firmware.
Smart.
So, yeah. Well, partly smart, partly, again, how many millions do they have to stockpile while they're still finalizing all of that stuff?
So wait, if you had a hard copy of a Switch 2 and you had a hard copy of Mario Kart World, or let's say
you can't
Donkey...
even play a Switch 1 game on it.
Oh, okay.
It just won't boot a game right now.
Even if you put a cartridge in, you're locked out. Got it. Yeah.
Jabronis playing themselves.
And Cyberpunk 2 has entered pre-production.
Wild. Pre-production. So the 7-year
time.
The 7-year countdown starts now.
Yeah,
Right, because they're doing Witcher first.
Yeah, well, but it's different teams. So it's the Boston team that's doing Cyberpunk 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hype, dude. I mean, they really turned that around. Phantom Liberty is celebrated beyond all celebration. Witcher 3, 10 out of 10. So they, I think they weathered that insane launch.
They turned it around.
Yeah.
I think they also said in that same financial report that Phantom Liberty has done 10 million.
Whoa.
And Witcher 3 has done 60 million.
Damn.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa. The power of Idris.
I'm like more bothered by TV shows having years between seasons than I am in games having long development cycles, because
Same.
the game cycle makes sense.
Never bothers me, yeah.
But the TV shows, I'm like, we used to make TV shows at a 24 episode season, breakneck pace.
Yep.
So yeah,
It's just so hard to get invested in a show when you know that you're only going to get a season every like 2 years.
Yeah.
Like, okay, let me watch your show for 9 years, 4 or 5 seasons over 9 years. It's a tough ask nowadays.
Yeah.
All right, it's time for... Then you have to like rewatch everything because...
You did like a whole thing with it.
There it is.
You gotta rewatch things because I don't even remember what happened 5 years ago in the last season.
I should have rewatched Andor. Like I did end up going back and like watching the recap thing, but it was like I should have rewatched the first season.
Yeah.
Those Stranger Things kids
did it all
have
back to back.
mortgages.
Yeah.
All right, it's time for Love and Respect. Love and respect.
Respect.
From Big Stretch. Good day, allies. As we wait, I love the phrasing of this, as we wait on the brink of a new era for Nintendo, there has been a lot of reflecting on the Switch 1 generation. I know the Switch 2 dynasty hasn't even begun yet, but in 7 to 10 years' time, when the next Nintendo console is about to launch, how do you hope / what do you predict will be the legacy of the Switch 2? Will it be remembered fondly or poorly, as a success or a failure? What will its triumphs and what will be its triumphs and what will be its blunders? P.S. Hi, Elyse. You're the best.
Oh, hi. I'm never coming back after Isla shamed me with my destiny. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What class do you play in, Dusty? I didn't even ask you.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think of, I guess
Titan.
I guess Titan, and then I tried Warlock because I was like, I should do something different.
Yeah.
But yeah, like for me, I was like, I need something easy and I can shoot.
Hell yeah.
And then Warlock, when I like felt too like
You're
I'm
gliding around,
and I'm
slipping and sliding.
No, I need like an easy.
Yeah.
Like I can,
Hell yeah. Alrighty, Switch 2 thoughts, everybody. What's gonna happen? Predict it.
As somebody who ran through a Target parking lot in their pajamas to get a Wii U, and then that didn't really have the legacy that I perhaps estimated it might. I don't feel like I have a good grasp. I've actually kind of maybe because of that tempered my expectations for Switch 2. Yeah.
I'm optimistic with a little bit of caution, because that's just for me. I'm only going to speak for me personally because I don't like handhelds. I like a handful of Switch 1 games. Its function just doesn't do it for me personally. I don't get as much benefit as some other players. So the fact that it's kind of just a Switch Pro, like Don always calls it, and just kind of like another Switch.
Definitely like more iterative than innovative. Because we got the innovation with the Switch,
exactly.
Right?
So I love the innovation, but this just being like another stronger Switch that's going to be like dated tech in a few years anyway, that concerns me for sure. I know we can endlessly debate about graphics this, graphics that, but I will always stand on the hill of video games are technology.
Will it feel more like a whole step or a half step? Maybe?
Yes, that's where I'm coming from. I feel like it's going to be a half step. Yes.
I kind of disagree
said.
on that because I think we're actually at a very different point in terms of like where the Switch 2 power is compared to where the Switch 1 power was. I think we're in a position now, as we've seen with people continuing to just play Fortnite on PS4 or whatever, right? Whereas like the Switch 2 is pretty impressive in terms of like what they've managed to do and improve and what we're already starting to see out of like some of these third-party titles, to the point where it's like, and like how much people have been underwhelmed by the PS5 and even the PS5 Pro, right? It's like, even though they can do all this stuff on paper,
we're
it's
plateauing.
Like, it doesn't feel like you're making a giant leap. And so I think because it already doesn't feel like you're making a giant leap, then it's like the Switch 2 is going to sit side by side with these consoles. And
bold prediction,
Split Fiction looks great. It's like I can definitely see the difference. I played through all that game, but then like seeing it there, seeing how well it's running on this new hardware.
Will GTA 6 be on Switch 2?
I wouldn't rule it out, like it will have compromises for sure, but I wouldn't rule it to be completely
That's
undoable.
what I mean, though. That's what I mean. Even that, if it's like, for a lot of those third-party games, it's just like, you can play the worst version here.
Right, but it's like, still, if you do things smart, right? Like with going back to Cyberpunk, right? Cyberpunk and The Witcher 3 cross save and all that stuff between those platforms. So it's like, okay, I'm playing a PC at home and I'm going on a trip. I don't want to.
That's the functionality that I don't take advantage of.
Right, true.
Exactly.
But it's also the fact that like Japan really loves handhelds. The West is more interested in consoles.
So is the game library going to be the defining feature of this console then?
I think it probably will be. What I really want to see is more of the Labo Mario Kart RC car, like just Nintendo like bolting things onto this, in individual games that have more of those interesting ideas for sure. Yeah.
Damiani's nodding.
Damiani.
I think
Lot to unpack here, Damiani.
I mean, it's difficult. I mean, it's just for fun trying to get its blunders. I mean, the day one thing is like, oh, it's too iterative, as you were saying. Like, oh, they don't sell as much as Switch 1. It didn't do that because Switch 2 was too derivative. Haha, Nintendo, go back to being like innovative with your hardware, which I don't think has ever really been. I feel like that's been overblown. I think you can point to a lot of their innovations, innovative hardware, but also look at the pricing that they did for that hardware. And you could probably argue pricing had as much, if not more, to do with why some of their past hardware was so successful in comparison to its contemporaries rather than the gimmick. Like you can, obviously, motion controls definitely helped.
Rumble Pack, motion controls,
the Wii launch. Yeah, it helped the Wii launch. It was a great marketing thing. It was a great viral thing. But that price of that Wii compared to the PlayStation 3, like look how expensive PS3 was, and then you had a Wii price. Like it was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Like you could have put anything with that, and it would have like sold pretty well, I think. But to this point, I do think I'm perfectly okay with them backing down from trying to do more crazier stuff with their hardware. And to what Blood said, like I'm perfectly fine with them doing side projects that are peripheral based that take advantage of the Switch 2 and do things like Labo or the Mario Kart Live stuff that they were doing with the physical toys, the physical carts. And I would like to see them, as you said, Elyse, your question, I think the answer is yes. it comes down to like what they're going to do with their software, like Nintendo first party, like what. You have more processing power in here. It seemed like maybe you were held back. Their studios were held back a little bit towards the end of the life cycle of the Switch. What cool ideas were you trying to do that couldn't, be executed? Now, obviously, some of them were technical marvels, like how they got Tears of the Kingdom or Xenoblade 3 to run on that system is kind of like, what the heck? Even like Xenoblade X, I was like, Definitive Edition, like, how the heck did you get this to run on this system? So without those limitations, what can they do? And I think Donkey Kong is like one of the first simple ones. Yeah. Just being able to destroy all the environment around you. It's Minecraft. It's like, okay, I can dig down. I mean, you're not creating, but like you're destroying like in Minecraft. So it's like, what if the whole environment was really destructible? You can dig down into, and then like how they're solving doing underground camera work. It's like, oh, that's going to be a nightmare. Wait, they're just doing this transparent effect and it's somehow working. Well, verdict will still be out when we play the like whole game and see if it's consistent with that. But I mean, that's the type of stuff I'm like looking for is how are they going to retain a lot of like the cool things they do with their previous software in their first party offerings and put a new spin on them that doesn't feel like that's where I don't want them to feel so necessarily derivative is in their first party offerings. Like the next 3D Zelda better not be a derivative of like Tears of the Kingdom. It can't be like those two games. It has to be something different. I mean, Fire Emblem. Like everyone's expecting, another Three Houses game. Like, I don't know. Like, can they do something else? Can they innovate off of that? Because as cool as Three Houses was, and I love that game, it's been so long. There's like they can definitely look to other games and their own work to build upon that. So I'm hoping it's the software. I really hope it's the software, and I hope they. Yeah, I would like to see also with we talk about their library, like what they're doing with GameCube. They're finally adding GameCube games. They're finally adding Rewind to N64 games only on Switch 2, which pisses Dawn off to no end that's not coming to Switch 1. But that's obviously a hardware limitation. So like, what cool things? Like, are we going to get GameCube Rewind? Like, is that going to be like something? Like, how crazy is the tech going to get for some of their legacy games? Like those cool functions that they can add that make it fun to go back and play those games. Like, I don't think they'll ever add modding scene to Switch 2. Like, to the Switch 2 for like old games like that, but I mean, what are they cooking up in there that could get you excited about like even like older games that they re-released like over the course of time?
Yeah, Damiani, what's of all the games that have been announced, like what is the standout one for you?
Of all the games that have been announced, I mean, Mario Kart World is. I mean, it's just going to sell a lot, and I'm glad what they're like. They've shown off things that they're doing that are new in it.
But like, is there one that gets you jazzed?
So at the moment, like the game I'm most excited about is Donkey Kong, of what they've shown. But like, I know deep down it's like, oh. Where's that Monolith Soft game they've been working on for like 10 years now? Where's that action RPG the fantasy based one they've been like hiring for? Because like I was like, I know this is made for Switch 2. Like at this point, like where is this? Like where is this thing gonna look awesome? And then obviously, whatever that next 3D Zelda, running on better hardware, so they're not like held back by technical limitations. But I would like to also see them take a crack at a new IP. We've had
same.
Yeah, like Splatoon was with Wii U. We had ARMS that didn't resonate as much on the Switch. I feel like they always take a swing for something with each of their last hardware. What will it be for Switch 2? Like, what are they going to try and do this time around?
I really don't appreciate the price.
Oh, the hardware.
$500. I think it's too much considering the competition nowadays. Like Steam Deck is like you can get a Steam Deck for $400 or $550 is another one. Mm-hmm. So $500, dude. It's not sticking. It doesn't feel right.
Well,
it doesn't feel correct.
Are the ones that are pissing more people off.
I think the hardware is fairly priced.
Yeah.
The software, it's
obviously the game price is totally, but I still don't. You're gonna give your whole thing is like, oh, we want to be competitive. We don't want to like be this tech. We're not gonna go for all the crazy tech. So we're gonna deliver you a semi underpowered machine. We're supposed to get a reasonable price because of that compromise, and it's not. I'm not feeling $500 worth of power from Nintendo Switch. Of course, it can play Nintendo games, which are the best games possible usually, the best in the biz. Damiani's talking about first-party games. Those are more expensive now too. So it's just like I'm just not getting the connection of the pricing.
Because everything went up in price. Microsoft just announced unilateral increases across all of its hardware. Sony is probably gonna. We're waiting.
The same as this
we're just waiting for everyone else to either do it or they're just trying to Sony did raise prices other territories, just not in the U.S. yet.
Huber, the baby Steam Deck is $399. The medium one is $550, and the top one is $650.
I mean,
$50 more for that middle one.
Back Huber a little bit here, though. I think the hardware price or the software prices become even more frustrating because we know those Nintendo first party titles never get those sales
ever.
Like we know that Mario Kart's going to be priced at that for all eternity.
Mm-hmm.
Like
that one's a tougher pill to swallow, quite honestly. Yeah. I think software prices went up too soon, like too quickly and too much. Mm-hmm. Like we saw like the biggest spike, like probably in the last 2 years. We went from like $50, to $60 to $70. We're at like 60 to 70 to now 80.
Yeah.
And beyond probably in the span of like 2 years, when most people were expecting $59.99 was like, the high end of games, only like 3 or 4 years ago. And it's now it's
I definitely think the pricing will be a blunder.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, well, and then Japan has like its own pricing structure, right?
Yeah. It's interesting to see like what the Japanese only switch to prices. Yeah.
But at the same time, 1,000 a day, 10,000 a day, people will pay it.
I think that's the thing, Huber, is it's like it's a future-proofed price. It is where they're looking at right now, where it's like, well, things could get more expensive, so rather than raising the price, which Sony and Xbox is having to do right now, let's set it at a price where we know we're probably going to be comfortable with for a while, and then maybe down the line, if things settle in, maybe we will actually get a price cut for a change.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
I also think some of the pushback on the software pricing, looking at like Switch 2 editions of some of the Switch 1 games, specifically the Zelda games.
Yeah.
And Super Mario Jamboree.
Crazy.
Like the pricing for those is insane. I don't care what extra functionality they're adding to them. I do think those are incredibly overpriced, and those are the ones most justified. Like Mario Kart, if Mario Kart was like the only game until like maybe 3D Zelda that they charged like $80 for, everything else was like old pricing. It's like, okay, we know they're going to sell a bunch of Mario Kart World. It's going to be their best-selling game. They're trying to make as much money off of it. You can complain about it, but like if that was like a one-off or, a special case, great. And they keep saying like they're going to do pricing like that, but I don't want to give them the benefit of the doubt. Where I do feel like a lot of their biggest first-party titles are going to land at where Mario Kart World ended up going forward for sure.
Yeah, and I always say, dude, the other side of it, you're paying for the quality too. It's not just about how much money they put in to make the game; it's about the quality.
Yeah,
and
the one
Mario Kart has a proven track record, pun intended.
Well, not only that, but like when I was reading that interview with the devs, when they started going this direction, just like that's sort of like that sense of they are feeling inspired making this game. It's like okay, we've made Mario Kart the same way forever.
Yeah. And
they start going off and like, well, what if we do this? What if we do this? What if we do this? And just the rapid fire of ideas. It's great.
It's pretty hard to beat Nintendo games. All right, next is from Caleb. Hi, allies. On and off patron from Australia here. Quick background here. I first came across Easy Allies just before 2017's E3 when I was searching YouTube for E3 trailers, and the Easy Allies Sony reactions from 2016 was recommended to me. I clicked and my first thought was, why are they all wearing suits? This is dumb. 3 hours later and I had subbed to the channel and was looking up your Patreon.
Aww.
I followed the channel ever since and been a patron when I can. Sometimes life puts financial strain on all of us, but found myself able to contribute again recently. Every June, I rewatch almost all your E3 and Summer Game Fest coverage religiously. It is the equivalent of comfort food for me, and I appreciate all that Huber, Blood, Isla, Damiani, Dant, and Gabby, and Sophia do. I look forward to your SGF coverage for 2025 and wish you all the best. Just want to let you guys know how appreciated you are. As for a quick question, what is your dream reveal for SGF? I think it's time for Resident Evil 9 to reveal itself.
Yeah. I think that might be mine too.
Mine, yep.
Resident Evil 9 is a great.
Resident Evil 100%.
Yeah.
Any Resident Evil, I'm in. Resident Evil, always.
Especially after all that talk that it was started off as something and they stopped and changed direction. So now I'm very curious what they're doing with it. Very curious.
Yeah, I nailed it. Good job, Caleb. Resident Evil.
Yep.
What about you, Blood?
Blood, you got a different one?
I mean, it's a dream, all right, but it's not happening. It's a dream.
Frog Fractions
Mother 3.
4. Deus Ex.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Tis but a dream.
Yes. Oh, any in there?
I mean, I think Duskbloods and Nightreign kind of ate the Bloodborne possibilities, but I still just want a goddamn patch.
Just give us a patch.
I'm not convinced that that's all they have. I
mean,
there's
I hope
more in that can.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, God Almighty. And
give us a patch, Lord.
What's Blue Point been doing? Give me a patch, Lord.
No, that's a very good.
What's Blue Point been up to?
Blue Point has not released a game in 5 years now.
I think we're due for a Blue Point this SGF, and it could.
They did have them running around on some stupid live service garbage.
Yeah.
So
I think besides my fangirl FromSoft bullshit, I think Resident Evil 9 would probably be my answer as well. But also, Damiani's got me thinking about Fire Emblem, so that would be fun too. But I mean, we're all gonna be itching for Switch 2 stuff too. So just cool Switch 2 shit.
Just like anything with any Nintendo mascot is just Kirby show, any Kirby, Mario, Donkey, anything.
Dude, if they put out I don't know, Galaxy 3, it would melt my mind.
I would throw up.
I would throw up
all over the table.
I would throw up. I would ruin
everywhere.
My Switch 2 by throwing up on it.
Yeah.
Get a full-on modern remake of Captain Rainbow.
I don't even know what that is.
None of us know what that is.
It is.
Calm down.
Yeah. It's from the makers of Chibi Robo.
Okay.
It was like a superhero that dealt with a bunch of rejected old school Nintendo characters.
That's funny.
That's pretty cool, actually.
And some of the jokes were far too risque for Nintendo of America.
Wow.
Yeah.
Honestly, that sounds awesome. I'm in on that too.
There is a vibrator under Birdo's pillow.
Wow. Birdo.
Whoa. Birdo's trans too. Also, Blood just said vibrator. This never happened before. I didn't know you knew about those, Blood. What the hell? What kind was it?
Oh, it's pixeled out. You can't actually see it.
Oh, okay.
Damn it.
I'm going to Google that. Hang on.
Alrighty, it is time to play a game. Switch U launch week. Switch always. Switch everywhere. Switch with Switch. Here we go. Let's throw to Blood. Throw to Blood. You want to do this, Blood?
Yeah. So, basically, as written, this game would take 45
lightning
minutes
round,
to get
Blood.
through.
Lightning round.
Yeah. So we can't quite do it as it is, but this is from Dan Childers. So they wanted us to go through different Nintendo systems and basically round robin, name off launch games.
Until we can't anymore.
Great. So they wanted us to go through every Nintendo console, so that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So I say, let's start with, 2.
Great.
So which one do we want to start with?
GameCube. Yep.
Okay. So GameCube has 12 games. So again, this is going to work. You start with Huber.
Yep.
You'll say a game, then Elyse says a game, then Damiani says a game, and then Isla says a game, right? Okay.
To do what? About what?
Launch games for the
launch games?
GameCube.
Yeah.
There are 12 launch games.
I'm ready.
I'm still trying to find a picture of this vibrator.
I'm ready. Luigi's Mansion.
You got it. Okay.
Yep.
Pikmin 2?
No. In fact, Pikmin 1 was after launch.
Shit.
Damiani.
Was it Rogue Leader? What was the...
Yeah, Rogue Squadron 2. Rogue Leader.
Squadron, yeah.
Isla, you have any?
God, I don't stand a chance at this. Chibi Robo.
No. Much later.
I've never had a GameCube. I don't know anything.
Don't be so pedestrian.
Destiny 2.
Damn you.
Huber.
Wave Race Blue Storm.
There you go.
Yeah.
You got 3 out of them. 3 out of 12 so far. Now it gets hard. We're starting to look
Yeah.
at third-party ports. So start thinking about things that were out around that time.
All right.
Resident Evil Director's Cut.
Wait, who's it?
I don't think Remake was a launch game.
No, it was much later.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll take it from anybody.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3?
Yep.
Great call.
There's
Wow,
one.
Tony.
What a pull.
There is a very similar game to
Was
that.
there Mario Tennis?
Nope.
Not at launch.
1080.
Nope.
Oh.
There was a third-party game that was not on consoles before.
And Sunshine didn't launch, right?
That
Oh shit! Yeah, Twin Snakes.
nope.
Great guess.
All
That was
much
chat.
later.
That was chat.
Are we? What's the definition of launch again?
Day and date. Day
'Cause
one.
I think this is
we're
day.
not
I think
cutting-
this is day and date, but they
Okay,
took
okay,
their
okay.
name. They take theirs from Game Rant and IGN as sources. So
Gotcha. All right.
I'm out of options.
I saw one from chat.
Yeah, I'm out of choices.
okay,
Vincent from chat said Crazy Taxi,
there you go. You got one.
Okay,
Nice.
that's-
and Not
that's
Weirder asked if Soul Calibur was a launch.
No, that was not at launch.
Done.
Done.
All right. The one I was trying to get you guys to come up with was Super Monkey Ball.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shit.
Yeah.
Then we had some
That
sports
was
games
shit.
that would have been almost impossible.
Was FIFA 2006 one?
I was gonna start guessing.
All-Star
sports
Baseball
FIFA 6.
2002, Madden 2002, NHL
Yeah.
Hits 2002, Dave Mira
Oh my
BMX
God.
2,
Oh my gosh.
Disney's Tarzan, and
Oh.
Batman Vengeance.
Batman
Yeah.
Vengeance, dude, was the animated series looking one.
I didn't get a GameCube like for a little bit, so I don't really have that
I
point
was
of reference.
pre-launch. I grabbed a Japanese
Humble
one that
brag.
was modded.
Wow. I was
Wow.
pretty
So I could
launched.
play US
Daniel
games that
Woodward,
were already in the
Tony
Pre-launch,
stores. I could buy the
dude.
games, but I couldn't get a console
We're all
yet.
pretenders, dude. Jeez.
Hey, that's how I got
And
in
I was
this
poor
industry.
too. It's like, kind of-
Okay, so which
We.
Wii?
The Wii, good pick, good pick.
Wii,
good pick.
but you
So
know I only know
launch
Zombie
games
U.
for
Wii launch game.
That was Wii U.
There are
I know.
22.
We can go.
Wii.
We can go reverse order. We can start.
Are you
Isla,
doing
go
Wii
that
or
way.
Wii U? Sorry.
Wii.
Wii.
Okay.
Start us off, Isla.
Wii Sports.
Damn you.
Stole mine. Damn it.
Yeah, obviously that's the only one I know.
Who's next?
Damiani's next.
Damiani.
Oh, Twilight Princess.
Stole my second one. Damn it.
Damn it.
You gotta get rid of the easy
It's not right, but we fit.
No, much later. Much
No,
later.
I know. Yeah.
There's one other first-party game though, for sure.
Link's crossbow training.
Yes.
No,
That
much
was
later.
next year.
Oh.
That didn't launch.
Really?
That's a
Wrong
trip.
year.
That's embarrassing. This situation. What? That launched. I'm
There are
not
a
buying
lot
it.
of ports too, if you can think of
We,
anything.
We Play came out with the Motion Plus, right? That was not launched.
That was
That was not
a
the
little-
Motion
few months
Plus,
later.
but it was later.
Okay, okay.
What were the launch titles for Wii?
Another.
What did people
Was it
get?
Pikmin?
No,
Red
that
Steel.
was GameCube.
Oh, Red Steel.
Red Steel.
Red
Red
Steel is true.
Mad World. Was that a launch?
No,
Was
Summoner.
Zack and Wiki at launch, or was
Probably
that a
some
little
sports
after?
games.
I always forget
Not
Zack
Zack
and
and
Wiki.
Wiki.
Some sports
Okay,
games.
okay.
definitely some sports games.
Not-
Like Madden.
Madden 2007.
There
you
we
got
go. NHL.
it. I don't think so.
NBA.
Not the Turtles game.
No.
I'm trying to think of like gimmicky Wii U control games.
Yeah.
There wasn't a WarioWare game at launch.
There was not. There is one more first-party game, which is basically a spin-off of a Nintendo
It's
classic.
I was going to
The
say Super Mario
Conga.
Strikers, but it's not Super Mario Strikers,
No.
right?
Donkey
Yeah.
Konga. The drum thing. No.
You're on the right track, Isla.
No.
Blood's getting cagey.
Blood's acting weird.
It's,
Yeah.
it's
Donkey
not.
Kong?
It's not Donkey Kong.
Is it a music thing? Rumba? The rumba.
Think
thing.
about.
Rhythm Heaven.
No, I'm
that's
surprised
wrong.
Damiani's not getting this.
Which,
The drum thing?
Would you tell
Damn.
us which franchise
It's
it
not
spun off
Fire
from?
Emblem. That was later.
If I say the first word, you will get it.
Oh, okay.
What's it
Is-
start with?
Is there any word
It starts with an E.
Electra.
Oh, you're thinking of Elecbits or whatever, or Elebits?
Elebits.
That is not in there, no.
Electroplankton. No, that was DS.
That was a DS
With
game, yeah.
E.
Yeah.
Starts with an E. What's the letter after the E?
That's too much.
Oh.
Oh, it's Excite Truck.
There you
I
go.
got it.
You got it
Psych
right.
truck.
X.
had to
Okay,
think
would have
for a
never.
second.
I never would have
that.
ever gotten that.
Yeah, I'm bowing out. I looked at the answers. These are insane.
Yeah. All right. So the other one's a lot of third-party ports here.
These are crazy.
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Whoa.
Barnyard.
Barnyard.
Call of
The
Duty.
movie?
Yeah.
Was this one of the weird Call of Duties? It was further back.
Call of Duty 3.
3. That was big on 360.
That was basically like it wasn't until Modern Warfare where they were like way after the other consoles.
And then Call of Duty
Gotcha.
1 and 2 were like way more PC centric, but 3 started to be like, oh, console Call of Duty.
Cars. Disney's Cars.
Disney's Cars.
GT Pro Series. Happy Feet.
There's so many licensed titles. That's crazy.
Crazy.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Sick.
Monster
Oh.
4x4.
Okay.
Huber. Need for Speed. Carbon.
Not a highlight. Not a highlight in the
No.
franchise. Low lights.
Another animated movie tie-in. Open Season. Rampage Total Destruction.
Is that just like the original Rampage?
Holy shit, Raving Rabbids was a long
Rayman
show.
Raving Rabbids. That's one that one we played a lot.
Yeah, I played a lot of that.
Oh, it's like Rampage Total Destruction is like a remake.
SpongeBob Krusty Krab. Super Monkey Ball's back. Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz.
Nice.
The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Tony Hawk Downhill Jam. I bought that nonsense. I also bought Trauma Center Second Opinion, which is the last one.
Second Opinion.
Yeah. Definitely a better game to play on the DS than on the Wii.
Jeez.
There we go.
Tough.
GameCube and Wii.
GameCube and Wii.
Nice.
Sick. And the Switch one had 1-2 Switch, Just Dance, Breath of the Wild, Skylanders, Super Bomberman R, I Am Setsuna, Snipper Clips, Shovel Knight, Treasure Trove, Shovel Knight, Spectre of Torment, and Fast RMX. Sick. Love that. The most recent.
Nice.
Alrighty. By the way, sorry, my whole mind just went blank. It happens.
Wow.
It just happens. But before we get to the bets, the patrons are getting 2 bonus love and respect questions. One of my favorite parts of the whole show. They're always really good questions. We get in there, talk about them. So consider becoming a patron. The question, little tease for the question at the end of the show, some Switch trailers. It's Nintendo week here at Easy Allies. So if you want to get in on the extended cut, consider becoming a $5 patron at patreon.com/Easy Allies. You'll get this podcast ad-free 2 days early. You'll get into the official Discord where we're talking about water levels next, and the bonus love and respect questions. So get in there. And if you really want to help us out, you can join one of our producer tiers. Our platinum producers get a shout out on this podcast each and every week. This week's shout outs: Jabawabs and L. Thanis. Shout out! All right. Now come join us on Patreon for those bonus questions. It is time for bets. First order of business. Actually, that is void. That is void because I changed the parameters for
Huber's
this.
doing nonsense.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. I consulted with Dawn. There is absolutely no nonsense being had.
And you're upending the podcast.
No way. Here we go. This week's bet. Okay. Before we get into this week's bet, if you get this question right, these points do not go to the podcast totals. They go to our betting special totals. 2 points for the winner on the line for the betting special. High stakes. This week's bet, speaking of Summer Game Fest, how many different games will we see in Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest? Just his part, just his show, his press conference, showcase, whatever we even call it, Summer Game Fest night. Summer Game Fest Live. I'm gonna start calling it that. Summer Game Fest Live. So any other ones do not count. Xbox and Day of the Devs. How many total games will we see? I'll go first. Breaking the rules here. 51.
51.
51 games. 50. Stay above 50.
Well, Huber,
yeah, Elyse?
you might be upset to learn that I stay below 50. 48.
48 for Elyse. Woo! Bloodworth, the Wicked Worm.
Okay. Well. 49.
49!
Oh,
my
damn
God,
it.
rolls with buzz.
I knew Bo was copying me. I said when I was writing my notes, I said Bo
Blood's
was
a
copying me.
cheater.
The arrogant child, Damiani.
64.
Oh, come on.
Nice.
He can change it. That's why we make Damiani go first.
There aren't even that many games that exist.
I trust Damiani. It's the honor system. I trust him. Whimsical Scum Isla.
39.
39er.
A pauper's sum of
A
games.
papa's sum. A papa's sum.
Punish Castellanos. Done.
He says 77.
77.
No.
Love it.
Yeah, if I had changed my bet, I would have bet
Order
42
77.
after hearing all your bets.
The Strange Valentine Gabby.
25.
Wow.
A modest
Keeping it low.
onboarding.
So we've got 25 to 77. Quite a range here. I like it.
Good. This is good.
Really good. Remember, the winner gets 2 points to their total in the betting special. So please be excited about that. Which brings us to last week's bet. Onimusha 2 came out this time about last week. And the question was, how many streams will there be at this time for Onimusha 2? Damiani said 4. Chris Kramer, on behalf of Gabby, said 50. Bloodworth said 23. Isla was out. Don said 8. Gabby said 35. And I was a freaking doubter. I said 7. The actual retail answer is 22. Bloodworth misses it by 1 and
near
gets
bullseye.
the point.
Wow. Wow.
I got nothing to say. Bringing the scores to Punish Castellanos 6.
It's bad. Reroute all agents to the Wicked Worm.
And the Wicked Worm Bloodworth 4.
I don't like anything that's happening right now.
My goodness.
I mean, I love it, but I don't like it.
It's making me uncomfortable.
But I'm here for it.
Elyse, where can people find you? What should they check out? And thank you so much for being on the podcast tonight.
Thanks for having me. This is wonderful.
Awesome.
I love coming here. I think if you like funny things and you like comedy and chit chat, you can like trivia. That's not necessarily required, but Answer For It, the podcast, I think is the current project I would say check out, because it's a weekly podcast every Tuesday, any platform that you want to listen to it on, including YouTube. And it's just 4 of us friends, trying to answer these stupid trivia questions and having a good time. And AJ usually goes off on some like nonsensical riff. You all know him.
Yep.
It's like,
Yeah.
it starts, it's a question about like how many, how big is a banana? And then he ends up telling a story about how his dad thinks that you can't talk to dolphins because they know that there are aliens at the bottom of the, it's just insane. It's nuts.
We know about dolphins and aliens around here.
Oh my God. Don't get us started.
Don't get us started on Echo the Dolphin.
How many times have you finished an episode and then right as you're about to upload it, AJ texts you and asks you to delete a part that that happens every single time I've had him on something.
Yes, that is the way.
It's happened?
But no. It's fun. It's very funny, I promise you. So yeah, I would check out Answer For It, the podcast.
Awesome.
Thank
Love
you guys
that,
for having
Elyse.
me.
Thank you for being here, of course. Anytime. Door is permanently. We have put up new previews over the past 2 weeks, so be sure to check those out. By the time most of you see this, our Hell Is Us preview will be up. That game could be a sleeper hit, dude. It's looking good. Hell Is Us. And we also have an audio-only interview with the creative director that will be on our Patreon and in the main podcast feed. So check that out. Also, last call.
Yeah.
This is it. Last call. The Easy Allies Summer Game Fest meetup, Thursday, June 5th. That is in 1 week. 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Good People Coffee Co. on Santa Monica Boulevard. Go to patreon.com/Easy Allies for all the details. That's June 5th, 11 a.m., Good People Coffee Co. Don't skip. Don't miss it.
And then we're doing a Switch 2 stream that evening as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
The nonstop work starts early
Yes.
this year.
And the work starts after this podcast. We're going to be streaming Resident Evil. Don't go anywhere. And Friday, tomorrow, so Friday, whenever you're watching this, Friday, we're doing a Nightreign stream.
Yes.
I call it Elden Ring.
Elden Ring. We're doing an Elden Ring stream.
Friday
Thank
night,
you.
we're playing Elden Ring.
Yes.
Can you combine the people know they know it's Elden Ring and they know it's Nightreign, okay?
Yes.
Playing Destiny 3, Elden Ring.
I swear to God, I'm gonna come in that booth. I'm gonna make you play Destiny with
It would
me.
be my treat. I like Destiny.
Yeah, I does like Destiny.
Dude, I want to play Destiny with you, Elise.
Next
Stop
week,
being a bitch.
next week is Summer Game Fest, Bloodworth.
Yo.
Tell us what's happening.
Yeah. So
Give us the quick rundown here.
go to easyallies.com to see the schedule in your local times to get all this stuff. So yeah, Summer Game Fest. We're going to be going live Friday at 1:30. Day of the Devs is right after that. Then we'll be doing the podcast after like a little lunch break, 6:30 p.m. Shu, we thought was going to be on the podcast. He just changed schedule. So Shu will now be
Busy man.
on Saturday when we do our game impressions after the show floor.
Yes.
He will be here.
That honestly makes me happier because any day after the show floor is fucking chaos. Let's go. So excited. It is going to be a fever dream, dude. Shu's going to be here. Oh boy.
Yeah. So I gave him the list of what we plan to see and all that stuff and talk about that night. So he's got time to think about it and to prep.
Sick.
To ask you questions.
Oh my goodness.
So Saturday around 8 p.m. when we get back here and have had a minute to eat and stuff like that.
Oh my god, it's going to be chaos.
We'll be talking about hands-on stuff. Then Sunday morning, for one, keep an eye out. There's this thing I can't, but keep an eye out Sunday morning. And then the Xbox showcase at 9:30. We'll be going live with our pre-show. And then there's the Outer Worlds 2 deep dive right after that. Then the PC gaming show right after that. But because the PC gaming show is happening at the same time as the show floor, some of us have to get out to appointments. Some of us have to be here.
It'll probably be me and Don. It might just be me.
Love the PC gaming show.
Yeah. And then we will be basically off and mingling and doing business and stuff in the evenings, Sunday and Monday, but we'll be back on Tuesday, June 10th, to wrap up the rest of the things that we show on the show floor. So we're going to be going from 3 o'clock in the afternoon until we finish.
3 a.m.
I blocked out to like 8, when we would normally finish our group stream. So that's it. So go to easyallies.com to get all that schedule info.
So pumped.
We're going to see Elyse running around there too.
Yeah. Get ready. You'll all appear out of nowhere. That'll be it.
I've also had some open invites to people to like show up for that Twitch 2 launch stream and stuff. So like, who knows who might pop? Oh yeah, group stream. Alex Jordan may or may not be on the group stream because he's coming straight from the airport.
Wild.
This coming Tuesday. Yeah.
Sweet. Well, Blood, since you won the bet, anyway, you get to shout out to anything or anyone that's on your mind this week. You get the final word. And you get to sign off with your trademark sign-off.
Shout out to everybody at Cliffhanger. From the limited amount of knowledge that I have, that sounded like you guys were really doing great work, and you had a team that cared about what was going on. So I hope you all figure out where you're going to be next and land in good places, and hopefully some of you get to stick together. Final word. Play more 2T. Play some 2T.
My name is Giraffe.
Yeah, I am a giraffe, so it's great to see me lying on a bed in that game. And we will
representation matters.
No joke. Like the last place I was at, my bed was on the floor, and I had my laundry hamper at the foot of the bed for my feet. So that image is very true to life.
We should all
You
know
feel
less
seen.
about each other. You know?
We will see you before the next blood moon rises.
I don't like anything that's happening right now.
The Easy Allies would like to thank our Patreon podcast producers. We apologize in advance for all the ally names we are about to misspell and mispronounce. Jabawabs, L. Thanis, Alexander Zirianov, Jay Shee, Jesper Popmel Dufay, 44 Stars, Andri, Brandon White, Brian Kruger, Colton Pichone, Daniel Martinek, Douglas Chomich, Faraz Rizvi, Garrett Holfish, G. Levin, Hayden Hargraves, Jesse Blue, Jesus R., Luis Ibarra, Miguel Rivas, Mo Grant, Paul Sway, Ronka Q, Robert Stoffel, Sam Handrick, Stomps, Stepan Hakobian, The Banana Forklift Killer, Chum Nguyen, Zigazich, Anish Dor, Aaron Haney, Accounts Payable, Alex Monaco, Alex Stories, Anacroft, Andreas Risberg, Anthony F., Anthrioni, Arthur Lau, Osteel, Barry Tomasini, Brian Foster, Bunny Chen, C.S. Lewis, Katie Garza, Chief Uhu, Chris Eccles, Christopher Santis, Clay Roberts, Colin Montoot, Connell Sumlin, Corey Jackson, Corey Landega, Crumb Eyes, Culinary Stud, Cyberboa, Dan Sebring, Daniel Kozlowski, Daniel Wong, David Aniki, Enya Hink, Eric Tobias, Ethereal Ether, Forever Ender, Forrest, Gabriel Smith, Jen Woofles, Gino A. Leet, Gustav Strombaum, Harrison Holt, I Sun Chor, Ian Anderson, Gerald, Jesse Fish, Jesse Wilkeson, John McCullough, John Prey, Junya Motomura, Carl Williams, Keegan Boyle, Kevin Gillet, Kroldemort, Leon Keys, Lying Crown 19, Marco Hernandez, Materia Addict, Matthias Clare, Max Miller, Miguel, Nefertiti Jenkins, Nycrypt, Nick Hill Sharma, Ninja Kitty Meow, Ono Turtle, Orugachino, Pablo Rodriguez, Patrick Held, Pixelated, Pulphead, Ray Aldiar, Reed Johnson, Richard Ma, Ritz 1906, Robert 7 Lee, Robin, Ryan Rudger, Sage Mode Q, Salvers, Samuel Copeland, SD Prima, Sebastian T, Servino, Sean Johnstone, Cito, Strikeout NZ, Sultab, Tadashi 047, Taffy 9K, Tim Strothman, This Is My Username 1466, Tomovi Keone, Tony Tarantino, Travis Ing, Trizak, Wouter DeHaze, Yami Zetsumi.